blocked immediately.
No.
No. Well, I think the stream is taking a little bit of time there, Joey. Or everybody's coming in, but it's not showing up on
I don't see it on there, man. Yeah. We got to go with Bob the dog.
We gotta do it.
What's up, Bob the dog? Bob, blah, blah.
Okay, we got to do it like this. All right, we got, oh boy, we got Rifki. Who else, man? Mike, D Ryder. We got 2 New York Cents and Brandon Mike. Chris over here. Howdy, right back at you, sir. Let's go. Let's keep seeing some more. Classy Wayne. We got Marcos Morales. Who else? We got the entire gauntlet coming in here, baby. Northwest Sasquatch. Shout out to Puka, Frank Hong, and Gary F. Poor Robin Hood. Well, if you invested in Robinhood anytime, you know, in the last little bit, you're probably doing really well. Salvador Jimenez, Tom Stapp, we got Farman, Hamza, and Jake, Robert Snake, Super Porter 90, Ryan MCR, we got Conwar Janil. Who else, man? We got the OG, Fat Figa, another sesh with the Profess. Hey, I like that, Fat Figa. My guy, Jimmy Joe Smith. One more here, Joey Options. We got Mark Perkins. Shout out to Mark Perkins. I don't think I've read that name out before. Good morning, Joey.
Good morning. I'm over here talking to Fabian, man. This guy always give me a hard time.
Yeah, he's mad that I didn't use the thing.
All right, we'll use it right now. How about this then? How about, all right, you guys got any questions? Well, guess what? We know where you went. Okay, well, why does it always, every time I pull it up, it has something, okay, no, Fabian, we're not doing this. All right, I'm going to figure out how to, see, that's the thing. You know what? My grandparents taught me, if you need something done, just do it yourself. So I got to figure something out here. You know what I mean? So, all right, I got to find a way. I go have a little talk with my friend Ramin. I know she'll help me out a little bit there. But all right, guys, anyways, enough of that. Let's see what we got going.
Did you say Ram help out?
Yeah, she can help me later.
That's like an oxymoron. You know what I mean? Ram help is an impossibility.
Ooh.
She takes, she doesn't give.
She takes, she doesn't give.
Takes.
She doesn't.
She usurps.
Well, all right.
She doesn't give.
All right.
Love you, Ram.
Miss Pelosi.
Don't kill me.
I mainly well, I wouldn't necessarily call them naked. See, that's the thing. People call them naked, but for me personally, oh, sorry, Adair. I seen your message right now. It was by DZ Bank. That had the AMD upgrade. So yeah. Anyways, what was I getting at? Yeah. What was the question? So no, so for me, naked, like I wouldn't necessarily say buying a call and a put option is naked because essentially you're fixed, right? For me, the term naked means essentially you have no downside or upside protection. So if you're just shorting calls without creating a credit spread, that's naked. If you're just buying puts, that's naked. For me personally, just buying a call and buying a put, that's not naked. Why? Because your downside is protected. You can only lose so much on those, but it depends on what the situation is. Sorry, Mike. So what happened? What's going on with the old mic there? We all right here?
Take over?
Fabian, Assassino? Bro, my mic is messed up. All right, I'll send it to you.
All right, guys. There's a lot moving today. Nothing is really parabolic, though, and we haven't really been seeing these parabolic small cap gappers as of late. It's more, high 70s, high 60% up on the day. Rarely are we seeing triple digits, let alone quadruple digits, on an everyday basis. So here's the deal. We're involved right now with ABVE. We're looking for a $4 hold, but here's what I'm keeping my eye on right now. So the number one gapper in the market is AREB, and I see it's halted here. So is it halted up or down? Oh crap, I took this off. I'm gonna have to put it back on. AREB's halted up. I had to take it off the side chart because it lost the volume weighted average price by like $1. VWAP was at 8, it dropped into 7. Now it's halted to the upside. It's about 15, 17 pennies away from the day's high, halted at 9.85. High of the day is 10.02. This is AREB, the ticker. Excuse me, let me just throw that in there so you guys can follow along. Yeah, so look, we'll see what this one looks on our trading screen, and we'll report to you back about the tap and the time. But this is one that I did have, and I removed it. So let's see which one we're going to take off here, Joey. I mean, we got to choose somebody over here. I don't know who to take off. Laser. I think I'm going to take off Laser. So we're going to have to put on AREB. Sorry, Laser. But this is what else we've got on right now. We're doing it live on ABVE. We're looking for continuation into 420. Shout out to all my 420 heads out there. But ECDA, This was halted when we did start the show. It is a little bit below. What's going on over there, Katina Mail? 420. my bad. I should have been more alive to that. But anyway, so ECDA 484 high, it's showing 475, 478, and there it is, a 490 high. There's $5. ECDA is on the way up. It held VWAP quite well. It wicked below it by a couple of pennies, but immediately retraced above the volume weighted average price to close above it. And we're continuing to hold trend. So pulls back into VWAP, continues to hold trend now. Higher lows and higher highs on successive 5-minute candles. But as you can see, it is quite spready, quite volatile. We're just at 5. Now we're down into 4 3/4. So that you need to account for that when trading these, okay? Otherwise, it's just going to become rough and annoying. Trust me, bro. So that's what we're keeping an eye on right now. We're going to have to load up ARB to report to you guys on the top and the halt time. So allow me to do that. There it is. So the halt currently is $10.15. We halted at $9.85 at exactly 11:01:13. So the earliest we will be open is 11:06:13. It may be later. It won't be earlier, okay? Up 72%. We're going to keep an eye on AREB, about 17 pennies, Joey, off the day high.
We're good to go, guys. All right, hopefully that's a little bit better there now so we can get rock and rolling and start talking about what we were talking to myself there. All right, guys, so let's get rocking and rolling here. James Dell, no, they do not make those type of movies anymore. It's really, really unfortunate. You need some of those Super Troopers.
Oh,
yeah, you need a cult classic, man. Like some of those comedies. Much better. All right, cool. Thanks, Chabo. So yeah, guys, let's take a look at what we were trading this morning. Yes, we were short Bitcoin. Just going back to the hourly and see what we got going on there. So the Tesla VWAP right there, we add into the position. Boom, 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 boom. We take it to the downside. We look for that reload, bang, 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 and then we eventually get stopped out. So we're like, okay, are we going to be extremely strong today, or is this more or less just going to be a squeeze? And sure enough, we take a long and then get stopped out, break even about 40% right there. So that's what we had going on IBIT. Nice trade on that front. Now, as for the TQs, we took a couple attempts on the short here. We got one move, boom. And then I get stopped out, break even. I'm like, all right, bang, double top on the 1 minute. Let's get back involved. And then sure enough, I was just overthinking the situation. I'm like, you know what? Why am I fighting this? Amazon's ripping. We have Apple coming to the top side. We got Google looking to recover as well. Why am I looking to go short this overall market? And I'm like, let's just get out, save the mental capital, and look for something else to trade. Now, we got a beautiful 5-minute hammer on Amazon above the volume weighted average price. Now it's going to go and test that high of the day. So you get that 5-minute candle pullback, indecision print, bang, and now you're off to the races there. OB short NVDA, that's a beautiful, beautiful sign as it's starting to come south of VWAP.
No.
So yeah, bang, bang,
Get
bang.
it, OB.
Wham, bam. Thank you. And there it is. Now for IBIT, we got some trend lines that we need to keep an eye out on over here, guys. There's multiple. Yesterday I was just doing a little bit of TA for hockey, doing basic stuff. So this is absolutely cracked, right? We know that this was a nice steady slope for about a week or so, snapped it, and then you have yesterday's selling session. A nice recovery, not complete just yet. Is the selling done? I'm not too sure. Let's be patient. We can see some indecision prints on the hourly here in the pre-market, but I don't think there's going to be enough volume to support that move to the top side or say, hey, we're ready to officially break downtrend and stick with that. Hit it for me, Sharif. What? October.
In 1 second. There it is.
Bang. Spooky season.
I like it.
The best season of all. All right, but yeah, in all seriousness, we're still looking at a potential long here. I'm still holding contracts. Let's see if we can get rock and rolling in the crypto space. I would love to see 130 in the next couple of weeks.
Rocking on the rolling bop-a-ran, bop-bop, bop-bop-a-ran. Weasel in, Adara. If you're going to sing, you're going to have to weasel in. I'm sorry. We're just not going to accept you singing from over there. Get it, Adara.
Can I also weasel in with a story here on GM?
Yeah.
So I do have a story here on GM, but it's kind of weirdly worded. So I've seen this reported both ways. Here's the actual headline. Reuters reporting that the company said they're scrapping a program to extend the use of the EV tax credit. So I've seen this both interpreted as they're getting rid of the program that is apparently used to extend the tax credit, and then also that they're extending the tax credit by scrapping a separate program. So Really not sure how to read this headline because I have seen it interpreted both ways. If I get more details in the story, I will let you know. But GM either extending or not extending the EV tax credit.
Thank you, Adira, for that. All right. We're doing it live right now. Look, we're in a new trade right now, MYO. We're also still holding ABVE. This is at the high of the day, 425. Your boy is waiting at 425, but we didn't cross, so we won't get the print. We're keeping tabs on ABVE. It's up 20.5%. And dilly-dallying, Joseph Wilson, at the day high. Here's 25 again. We're showing 25. There's a large seller because this is the third time we've ascended and not crossed. And really nothing is getting taken off the size on the gateway. So to me, again, that's one of the tipping or the little tricks you use to see whether or not it's a hidden seller at that level. We're also in MYO, as I spoke about. This one pulled into the 10 EMA on the 5. We got in at a little bit below the $0.25, and now we're showing 27s. I'm waiting at 27, and there is the print. It is now showing 28. Now I'm waiting at 30, excuse me. So we'll see what we get there. By definition, MYO will have to make a new high of day for me to get the next print because I am waiting above the high of the day. This one's up 21.5. ABV is up 20%, give or take. Okay, so I'm keeping my eyes on that. But I also wanted to talk about the other ones that I've got on at the moment. Pardon me. Let me just bring them in. And IMAB. Look, this is a very nice looking bull flag over here. When you get the breakout, the sustained breakout that is, above the 5.5, your guess is as good as mine. But what I do like about this one is the plethora of higher lows that each successive candle seems to be putting in, all the while, of course, while rejecting that $0.50 on a closing basis. It is a 555 high, but look at all the closing prints on all the candles on the 5. They are all south of that $0.50. So I don't mind building a position in for an eventual break of the high of the day. So that's what I'll be looking for there. As I mentioned, AREB, this is the halter. So it broke the high of the day. It is now at 1094 high a day, but as quickly as it was able to make that new HOD, as quickly as it was able to halt down $1.35 lower than where it made that new high. It is halted down now at $9.65, breaching the prior halt level, which was at 984. So look, it doesn't feel good for a stock to halt down, especially if you're a long bias, but the deal is the 10 EMA is at 875 and VWAP is at 859. So you're above all the indicators still, showing that the buyers are still in control. It's incumbent upon you, though, to find the right area to get in with stocks like these, because as quickly as you get in, as quickly as you can be $1 out of the money, you needn't believe me. Just look at the chart there. So that's what we're doing right now. We're going to keep an eye out on that. And then last but not least, before we send it back to Joey Options, TLA, very, very clean, stair step up. But, with these ones, the ones that are so clean and so distant from the 10 EMA, they typically are buy programs. The problem with these buy programs is when they get shut off, you don't know when they're going to get shut off, and you could be long. So that's what's always concerning me about these ones. Very, very good aggressive move to the high side, though. We'll be keeping tabs on that, Joey.
All right. We'll keep some tabs on that. So yeah, that's the thing, right? I'm thinking like, okay, I'm not necessarily loving the longs right now. So what does that mean? Should we be going short? I think it's a really tough call. I want to get involved in some more Bitcoin, but not all the way up here on the volume weighted average price, because it's just continuously rejecting it. So yeah, we'll pull back our chart up here and see what we can potentially muster out. I don't want to force anything. So the ideal entry is definitely going to be around that 69.40. Keep an eye on the volume profile as well, just to see if things start to ramp up. But the 5-minute time frame on the Qs I'm liking as well, because if we double top up here, I think that can give us a little bit more conviction on an additional short. Third time's the charm, right? Oh. So maybe we'll find that there as some of the bigger names are starting to come back in. My issues right now are Tesla. Is that going to be heavily weighted enough to drag the overall market up? Maybe, possibly. You're going to see some more. You're going to need to see some larger percentage moves in that. So yeah, we'll just stick to our guns right now and start with, you guys guessed it,
what?
The best performing sectors on the day. And let's see what we got going on. Only one of them in the red, the tech sector, leading the race there, guys, up 1%. And then we have the materials in second, up about 0.86%. And then the industrials, 0.6%. Now the bottom three, we got the real estate sector. If you're looking for some relative weakness, we're down a quarter, a little bit more, a third, we'll call it. Consumer staples, a third as well. And then we have the energy, hot garbage, conducting a lot of garbage over there. Down 0.4%, man. Jeez, man, I don't know. Katina, do you own any energy stocks or what, brother? He's got everything. I don't even know why I asked that, really. I know you're involved in it.
He's a market guy. He's a market guy.
Enbridge? XLE and Enbridge.
Yeah,
right?
Enbridge is probably the one, man.
Yeah,
and that pays a nice divvy, Katina, man. That's
oh, Canada. But yeah, in all seriousness, guys, we'll run through our scanner. Bang. We'll run through. You don't got to ask us twice. We'll go over some of our scanner names as well, too, to see what we got going on. Bull. Who was short that? I don't know anybody who was short that this morning. No. RGTI. RGTI not doing too much either. Nvidia, we know what's cooking up over there. SoundHound, what are you up to? And advanced micro devices heading in towards that all-time high. Beautiful look there, Sri.
All right, guys. ELBM is starting to look some kind of way. And the deal is, it defended to, held VWAP quite well, but it's still on a bit of a downtrend. So here's the deal. I'm going to put my breakout trade above 210 on this one. Because, yes, I see some ascending lows. So higher low. But I'm also concerned about the lower high. So I think I might give this a little bit more room. Let's go 211. Let's go 211. All right. That's going to be the breakout. So what I'm going to use is a script order. And I'm telling the computer, which will sit on our servers, by the way, if it's like an if-then statement, right? If the price gets above the 210, then buy 10 shares, 500 shares, okay? And the beauty about those is, they don't post on the gateway. So if you're concerned about the market makers looking at your stops and your entries and stuff like that, these script orders stay on our servers now. That's the good thing about them. The bad thing is, obviously, they're a little delayed because they're not sitting on the exchange. So you don't always get the best price. Sometimes there's a little slippage. So that's what I'm doing right now. ELBM, looking for a breakout trade above that 211. How we doing here on ABV? Now, look, we're pulling back into the 10 EMA after making a new high. We didn't get the print, sadly, at the quarter dollar, despite the fact that the quarter dollar is the high of the day. But what I'm going to do here is ride the trend on the 10 EMA. So I put in a DCA, a planned DCA to pick up more at 412. Let's see how that one does. And then MYO, we got a couple of prints up here into 128. It is a 129 high now on MYO. But look, it's not rocketing up. It feels like I'm grasping at straws with these, but we'll see what we can get, and we won't get upset. Shout out to my man Neil, wishing him, obviously, a speedy return. UPC, guys, I didn't have this one on my side chart, but this one is up bigly on the day, 86 2/3%. But here's the deal. It is below the volume weighted average price. It's rejecting it right now, and also it has a lower, it's trading lower than the pre-market high. The pre-market high is at $15.39. So I put it up there just because I knew you guys would be asking me about it because it's up big on the day. But I just wanted to tell you I'm not interested in this one until two conditions are met above VWAP and above the pre-market high. Now, I can make exceptions if it really starts getting going here, but for the moment, we're going to have to steer clear of that one. So I'm looking at getting in on ELBM above 211. I'm involved in ABVE, and I'm involved obviously in MYO. And that's what I'm doing right now, Joey. But this NTLA, man, it keeps making higher lows and higher highs. We were talking about this at 24 and a quarter. It is now at $24.99 HOD. So coming into that $25 area, I don't know where to expect resistance. Joey, this thing hasn't even touched the 10 EMA since like 930 or 940, Joey. It hasn't even pulled back into the 10. So, I mean, what do we do with this? It's just not the way I trade. I don't punch in random areas and, see no decisions, right? So that's what I'm looking at right now, guys. We're looking to do it live on one of these, and we're looking for a breakout trade on the LBM.
Cool. Yeah, Mr. Ducats, yeah, but we're on Pro 8, brother. And for the individual who was asking what platform we use,
P8.
It is P8,
yeah.
Pro 8 there. It is our firm's technology. So, yeah, all right. So there it is, guys. 30-minute IBIT snapping downtrend. Keep an eye out on this one. I'm just trying to diamond hands this in all seriousness till the end of the year. I was thinking about just rolling the contracts as well. to a later date. I think that's just kind of the motive I'm going to go with. And I mean, we're still in year one of the halving cycle, which it's so hard to believe. And I'm curious to where Bitcoin is going to be a couple years from now when we enter that additional halving cycle, and how much the actual reward is. I mean, I think the last one you were still getting a full Bitcoin, or it was about 7/10 or 3/4 of a Bitcoin, and then that's going to be cut in half. So you're going to be getting a third or something along those lines, which is not very much. And the appreciation of the underlying, I'm thinking like $250,000, maybe 300,000 by that time. It'd be 2028 is when that next halving cycle is. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm just going to continuously keep buying stuff in the long term. And I was thinking to myself, Sharif, like any extra cash is just keep buying more,
100%.
keep buying more.
And if you don't want to pick winners and losers, and I know it doesn't feel great to buy the indexes and then see them move up 5% and see the other underlying stock move up 15.
Yeah.
But you know, I think that there is a genuine, legitimate strategy to doing both, Joey.
Yeah.
To allocating, I don't know, whatever. It depends on how you want to do it. 50% to stocks and pick winners, and then another 50% to buy the index.
Exactly.
And it really removes a lot of the mental stress.
I think so.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
One thing I was thinking about this morning as well, too, Sharif, is that like, you have your one buddy who you mentioned his father owned a bunch of gold, and he just went heavy onto Tesla. I have friends like that as well, too, with different names. And even I found a little bit of success with the weed stocks. So, like, I was thinking to myself, and like, guys, this is me. Do not do what I'm thinking or whatever. I'm just relaying my thoughts to you. Is that diversification is fantastic.
Okay.
But hold on, listen to me. This is maybe a hot take. For me, I'm younger. I believe that I have I'm not rubbing it in or anything. I believe that I have the ability to be like risk on and just go, yo, bleep this and let's just rock and roll and just go heavy into one name and just have your portfolio not necessarily equally weighted, it's overlapping, or it's not overlapping, just overweighted one specific name. And that's kind of an idea that I'm thinking about doing. It could be a horrible one, or it can pay out really nice. So that's where I lay in the Bitcoin space, especially because you're starting to see the institutional adoption to it, and Michael Saylor continuously buying it, and a lot of these corporations doing the exact same thing. But for me right now, got no specific trades, might be a potential short on the overall market right now, as NVDA is continuously, listen to Joe the Younger. All right, hey, man, the Younger, that's crazy. No, but don't listen to me whatsoever. You have to make your own decisions. I'm telling you that right now.
What? You're on the show.
I know, but but don't listen. No, but at the end of the day, it's true. It's your money. I can't manage your money for you. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with mine. And if you're like, hey, Joe, I agree with you, by all means, continue to do so. But at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with the diversification. But I'm not in it to have that nice, steady, slow growth. I want to see it just go exponential.
And to be fair, to build on your point, I already already said this, but your age lends that approach.
You know what I mean?
To be fair,
it's like as you get older, you get more conservative. You go index funds, you go bonds, you get into the money markets, etc. For me personally, it's just like risk. No, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. For me, it's just risk on.
And that's fair. I think that is the time to do it. All right, guys. For the individual in the chat that was asking why NTLA is running, thank you, Adara, for coming, finding this, because I couldn't find it. It was upgraded to market perform by JMP Securities with a $33 price target on Monday morning. Not seeing anything since then. We know how the market is, all right? Sometimes delayed reactions, sometimes immediate reactions. So that is the reason why NTLA, we believe, is running up. So we'll keep tabs on that, and thank you for the question. Bovin, NERV is moving up. Yes, all right, Bovin. Let's see how we're doing on our other trades, though, because we're doing it freaking live on ABVE. We're taking out highs. We just got 27s printed. Couldn't be happier. We're also doing it live on MY freaking O. We just took out the high of the day there. We don't even have any beak wetters set up on this one. Let's go ahead and wait at the third of $1, see what comes of that. ABVE is just taking out levels. There is a new high of the day. $4.32. We got 410 on at the moment. Let's see exactly how many shares we've got left on this one, because I don't want to take out too quickly. We didn't get the DCA, sadly. That DCA was a planned DCA to try to take it off the 10 EMA. Alas, it didn't make it quite down there. But there's a new trade that I've worked my way into. I told y'all I'd be taking the breakout trade on ELBM, and that's exactly what I did. We got 12s on Joey, just went the beak at 15s, now waiting next at 19s. It's showing me 17s. ELBM, though,
Sharif, sorry, one second. Sorry to interrupt.
Joey.
I don't know what's going on in the market. I'm going across the mag, and we just got a big-time breakout in the Nasdaq right there, guys. So that's a big-time move, and I'm looking for the Mag 7, and I don't see anything that's justifying what we're seeing right now. So I don't know what it is. Sorry to interrupt you, but we got a big-time move in the overall market there.
Yeah, no, Joey, you don't have to ever apologize. That's important stuff. So ELBM, we're looking for the next profit taker there into 19s. Look, I realize that it's 224. That's the high of the day on ELBM, but look at the 5-minute chart, bottom of your screen there. Look how it rejected 215 on a closing basis. So even though the wick does get into almost the $0.25, I'm expecting some resistance here at the 15-penny area. Let's see if that actually manifests, pardon me, or what the situation is going to be there. So keeping my eye on that and looking for more. Now, do I have a plan if this one does drop? Sure. I'm looking at picking it up off the 10 EMA. That's currently showing me 206. By the time it makes its way down there, it probably is at 207 or 208. So let's go ahead and wait at said 208 to pick up a little bit of more here on ELBM. But I totally digressed. I was supposed to look at Bovin's NERV. Sorry, Bovin, man, it's tough. It's tough to concentrate when you got so much to do. By the way, guys, I'm a little under the weather today, so I mean, right now we're hopped up on coffee, but get it, Adara, but that could, that could end pretty quickly. I had a bit of a tough time at it last night, and I'll leave you guys out of the details. Yeah, trust me, I'll spare you guys.
I didn't get spared.
You don't get any sparing.
I didn't get spared.
No, that's for sure. We're a team, bro.
Right and early.
We're a team, bro. You gotta hear it all.
You're FaceTiming me. That's crazy.
Nah, play. All right, this is the Bovin look here, NERV. So look, this one was running aggressive yesterday, late into the aftermarket. Looks like it broke out at 6:55. So just before 7 o'clock, and then it was all sorts of insane. 218 or 2.25 closed out at double tops in the aftermarket at 537 or 5 mid-30s. Since that time, though, I mean, like, look at that. Close it, that opening print at 4 a.m. We top out at 434, so we don't even reach the aftermarket levels yesterday. And then the 8 a.m. spikes are also a little bit lower. So look, Bovin, man, if this starts getting in close to $4, maybe we can break the rule about the pre-market high, this, that, and the other. But right now, yeah, we're above VWAP, but I don't know how I feel about this one. We could replace KYTX maybe with this NERV. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it on the watch list on the side. Not yet, though, on the side charts. We'll keep an eye out on this one. I think it's it's warranted to keep an eye out there, Joey. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Ronak, Kumar, what's pumping the Qs? I don't know, brother. You ever see me trade the Qs? Adara is keeping her eye on things. She doesn't have an answer right now. We're going to get back to you. Joey also is keeping an eye on thing. Shy person, the porcelain is calling. Oh, no, he understood. Get it, shy person. That definitely wasn't a shy comment there. But shy person knows. Ozen's here. Break the rules, baby. Let's go crazy. Yeah, I like Ozen. I like Ozen more every day.
Do you?
He's like more of that friend who's a liability that gets you into trouble, but you can't stop hanging out with him because he's a lot of fun.
That's Spile.
Spile's big trouble too, though.
Oh, you like him a lot more until he starts staying at your house. You guys are roommates.
Yeah, well, they can stay at your house.
No, I heard they're staying at yours.
You got the nice place downtown.
Oh,
you're by the water.
You're right there too, man. Right by the old 401 ski.
There you go.
But yeah, I'm curious to what's pumping this market right now as well too, guys. We got to find something that's moving, and I got the mag all up here, and nothing put that big spike into it. So maybe a little bit of expansion and growing. What's our good friend? I haven't looked at this name in a long time. What's my good friend CrowdStrike been up to?
Was that you saying hi to Ozen in the chat, Ram? Was that you or is that the Chilean nightmare? Oh, it is her. She's laughing. Okay. Love
I mean, anyways.
There you go, Ozan. You got love from Rim.
Bang, 403 all the way up to 500 now and change there on CrowdStrike. What's the cybersecurity ETF? SYB, right? Cyber.
Yes. Cyber. Something like that.
Cyber, right?
Cyber, uppercut.
What is it, SYBR?
I don't know, bro.
Oh, man.
You want me to find out?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
cyber
keep going, I'll
yeah,
find
there
out
it is.
for you.
We got it. There we go. SYBR. Come on,
Right,
you
that
can
makes
do
sense.
it. I want to get involved in this. SYBR. Bang. Oh, my.
What happened, bro?
Oh, who are you? This is crazy.
Yo.
All right, man. This is the best performing ETF on the planet right now. Obviously being sarcastic. 76%.
Oh, no.
What happened?
Nothing.
Oh, pull back, baby. Pull back, and your boy's going to get involved in some cyber. We like this one. Software. Yeah, we're most definitely Shreve. That's all I got right now. I'm going to look to short the overall market, maybe, possibly. Let's see what we got. Inverted hammer candle on the SPY, 5-minute candle. Same with the Qs, guys.
Well, let's take a look at why cyber is making said highs. Let's start with CrowdStrike, the monster CrowdStrike, right back into almost all-time highs, 516, 518, something like that. It's trading at 503 today. Let's check out Zscaler. How's my friend Zscaler doing? Adira's friend as well, 319, 317-ish, 318 all-time highs. Today's at 304. How about Fortinet, FTNT? Let's check that one out. Adira's getting pumped. Yeah, Fortinet, not quite there. How about Pandub?
Cyber Arc.
How about Pandub? All-time highs on Pan freaking Dub.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, so CYBR, I believe, is CyberArk and not the ETF.
Yeah.
Clarify there, Joe.
Yeah, get it.
Do you know what the ETF is there, Adara?
We can find out, bro. Just ask your friend Copilot there.
I believe it's close. It might be, I think, a slight misspelling of cyber. I'll look into it, though. But
Okay,
yeah, I know that
perfect.
the ETF
Thank
is
you,
also
Adara.
called cyber.
Okay, thank you, Adara. We're gonna ask our good friend Copilot, right? We're gonna do it.
CIBR.
CI instead of CY.
CIBR. All right, let's see what this one's up to there, Shree.
Uppercut.
Stop doing that.
Is it embarrassing you again?
It's big time, man. Okay, so it's moving up, 77 bucks. I'm like, that was awfully expensive for an ETF. But with Assassino, I know, man. These guys
You glitched, bro. Assassino can't let you go, though.
Bang. Yeah, we like this one, man. I think we're going to get involved in some CIBR. We really like how this is looking. And maybe even CyberArk Software, no one really talks about that name too often. We'll keep our eyes on that. $510 steady appreciation. That's what we want to see. A little bit more expensive, but that's all right. We'll worry about that later. Now, as for the potential short on the overall market, inverted 5-minute hammer candle on the Qs, I'm going to look for any more potential indecision on the lower time frames for us to potentially get involved. Or, so we go essentially 1 for 1. Thank you, West, y'all. We go 1 for 1 here, or sorry, 2 for 2 on the TQs. I want to take another attempt on it, but small potatoes.
Whatever.
Small potatoes. So I like it at the highs, but the issue is, guys, and I say it time and time again, is that if the big names are rallying, do not stand in front of them. And I don't want to get into that scenario, but we have to take those stabs just in case this market wants to come back in. So that's what I'm looking at, potential short on the Nas, and maybe some other moves back in towards the volume-weighted average price, Shreve.
All right, Joey sounds good. Just setting up my stop order. Yeah, there we go. Good. Added more into ELBM off the 10 EMA. Again, it's rejecting 215, but recall that was my bias, that I had seen previous areas of resistance at 215, which were cause for concern. Of course, what keeps me interested in the trade is the higher low. We did breach 2 momentarily on the double bottom, the candle 11 o'clock and 11:05, but they generally held VWAP to make, and now here we're making a bit of a higher low. So let's see how the cookie crumbles on ELBM. It probably behooves me to throw in a beak wetter at 12s, and then I want to layer as well into 14s now that we've gotten some more over here. It's already showing me 14 on the ask. Oh, baby, MYO is the gift that doesn't give? Oh, it does give. All right, good, John. We're going to take one over here. There we go. MYO, we're doing it live on this one. We're taking out highs. Look, it's not a rocket ship, but it is a steady state, higher lows, higher highs, and again, defending the 10 EMA on the 5. Now, with respect to ABVE, I'm done my trade. I took out the high of the day, 436. I lied. The 437 is the high of the day. Took it out at 6s. So let's keep an eye out on this one. I don't mind getting back in on more on ABVE. It just didn't pull into the 10 EMA like I had been planning because I had a DCA on this one, a dollar cost average, which didn't print. So we'll keep tabs on that. And then UPC. Okay? UPC is one that, you know, it fails the two requirements that I have at the moment. But look, it's trying to get back VWAP here. And here we go, Bovin. Look, we double topped. We rejected VWAP. But most notably, look at this, Bovin. We drop in to that previous area of resistance right around 9 1/4, 9 1/5. We hold it, and now we're making a higher low and a higher high here on UPC. So the trend, that rounded bottom, shout out to the Spiled one, Big Spiled Burdette. We miss you, brother. I hope you have a great time on vacation. Pictures to come on that. Yeah, he's with the family. He's having a great time.
Okay.
Well-deserved, obviously. Very hard-working individual. So 1095 area high there. Let's see if we can continue to move up on UPC. I'm certainly interested in this one. But ABVE just came back into the 10 EMA. So I just finished waxing poetic that I'd be interested in getting in some here. So it's exactly what I'm going to do. We're punching in there. We're going to give it to like 18s. That way, if it does breach the fifth of a dollar, at least we have a bit of a buffer. So that's exactly what we'll do. And we got 25s on at the moment. So we'll go ahead and layer some orders into the area high there. So that's what I'm looking at. Certainly interested in getting into UPC, Joey, but it's going to have to set up in the right way.
All right, Coolio. Rest in peace, Coolio. Or no, that's Fulio. Sorry. All right, what are we looking at here? We got a consolidation phase going on with Bitcoin. We're going to be talking a lot about this here today, looking for some downtrend. You can see from a daily standpoint, clearly an inside day. What do we want to do? Let's post up actually at 69.45, right at the lower end of the range, just to see if we can get our toes wet there. So 69.45 is what we want.
Wow.
We're going to go in. We're just going to go full size right there, just in case we can get that. We're posted up so you can see it. Bang, bang, bang. Now, if we come back into that range, then we're going to be good. Good thing I didn't short the market because Tesla's starting to climb a little bit higher. We got NVDA grinding as well too. A lot of. Do you use the Delta app? No, like
Delta.
Delta.
Oh, like
airlines. I don't know. A native of New York asked me this. Shout out to your Big W there yesterday as well too.
See Big Dougie?
Was Dougie there?
I don't know.
What's he do? Big Dougie.
Big Dougie.
Yeah, what'd he do?
Big Dougie?
Yeah, you said if I seen him, so I'm assuming you asked me.
I thought you said you see Big Dougie.
No.
Oh my God.
All right, that went nowhere. I thought that's you asking me if I seen him. What did he do? I feel like he did something now. Are you trolling me?
No.
Oh, all right. So what's going on? Like you told me about the hall pass last. Nah, you got something going on over there, man.
I love this guy, bro.
I don't trust it.
You're a good vibe,
all right,
bro.
right there. What do you got for us?
Sorry.
Keep an eye here in GIG. Gig Capital 7. GIG on watch. Someone from the company here, it's actually going to be the founder and CEO, I guess, saying that Hadron Energy has received a official letter of support for the White House. I have to see if this is connected to GIG. But either way, GIG reportedly moving on this news. I'm going to get more details back to you.
We should probably show everybody who Big Dougie is.
You show him our guy.
Right? Should we show him the video of Big Dougie pouring out the Crown Royal?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Hold on.
Shout out the homies.
Hold on, Esposito. Let me load this first.
We gotta pull something
Doug
up there.
Ford, Crown. So our premier is the best, man. This guy, where is the video of this dude pouring out the Crown Royal? Yeah, I gotta find it here. That's not right. There it is.
Yeah, look at this guy, man.
He's something else. Hold on, Esposito. It might have a little bit of a video.
Turn the volume off.
Turn the volume off. It's not even loading, Joey. Forget about the volume. What volume?
They don't want to see the.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. There we go.
The volume there.
So here's what happened. I'm giving you context of what happened over here. So Crown Royal, which it creates obviously, which makes whiskey. Obviously, they want to close down a plant in southern Ontario to move to the States. So obviously he's not very happy. So here's what, he just did an entire press conference and went and got himself a bottle from the LCBO and just started pouring it out.
That's a 62.
Look at everybody just clapping in the background. Get him, Dougie.
The thing is, what I don't understand is that he paid for that.
He paid for it. Probably the taxpayers paid for that.
Yeah, so I paid for it.
He's
I mean, you can pour it out for the folks and all, but
so
come on,
funny, man.
Yeah, I mean, and that's his brother is Rob. So if you guys watch the documentary on Netflix, The Mayor of Mayhem, who has plenty enough. I'm not even gonna say what. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. But in all seriousness, I would love to make that drink. What's Intel doing?
People are saying it's mooning.
Okay, is it on that?
I don't think it's mooning, man. Come on, Cage.
Man.
You make me look bad, man.
Who said that, man?
You're making me look bad, Cage.
I mean, it's trading nice, right? Like we'll get into some Intel.
Went green.
It's doing some good things here right now. $40 strike price. Let's actually pull up this options chain here, guys, and see what I was talking about earlier this morning.
Get it, Joey.
On Intel, because there's some open interest at that $40 strike price, slightly starting to grow in size. So I think that can be a good opportunity to write some of these that expire, collecting 30 cents, 2 days. What are we currently trading at? 37.28. So keep an eye out on that one. But first, we obviously want to take a look at the daily. If that doesn't correlate with what we're looking for as potential writing these calls, then we want to stay away. $40 by the end of the week, collecting 30 bucks. Bang. I like that one. Not too bad of a look. If we go even to the 17th, how much are we gonna collect on that specific contract? 80 bucks. 80 bucks right there. So as long as we don't exceed that, then I think we're gonna be okay. We're gonna go over one more thing. I like what Obi was talking about. He's like, hey, imagine you can base a trade. He obviously knew what he was going on about. He's like, imagine you can base a trade where you can just, hey, say the price isn't gonna go above this and it isn't gonna go below that. You can make money. Well, guess what? We have something called the Iron Condor, and we can do exactly that. So if you're looking to say, hey, I don't think Intel's gonna go above $40, and I don't believe that it's gonna go below 35, we'll call it. What's our 10 delta actually? Let's use our delta here and get involved in that. Our 10 delta is going to be exactly at that 32.50 level, but we're not collecting anything on that, so we'll have to go a little bit higher. So we'll go over to our 34 strike price. That's going to put us at that 0.2 delta. So still an 80% chance that this contract is going to expire worthless. So 34 by October 17th. Hold on here, let's get our lines drawn. So by October 17th, if Intel stays within that specific range, you get to keep the full premium. So you're gonna obviously wanna buy protection on your top side and on your downside. So you'll spread that, you'll lose a little bit of the premium collected, but it also protects you and puts in a max loss as well. The risk to reward is gonna be substantially imbalanced, so you're not going to see anything that good, but the probability of profit will be extremely high. So if you base a trade like that, it's like, okay, we're not going higher than 40, we're not going lower than 34. By October 17th, you can make money, and that's the beauty of options. You can construct those condors, and I know a bunch of people have them running right now. All
right, Joey, good look, good look. Guys, ABVE continuing to run here. We just took out the high of the day at 37s. Now we're set up north of 40. By definition, this will have to be a high of day break to get the print, but ABVE has been a good stair stepper. You'll recall I did add when it pulled back into the 10 EMA, we got, I believe, 24s or 25s. Just wet the beak there at 37. But I want to bring another one to your attention over here. It was kind of doing nothing for the entire morning, but I had it up because this is one hell of a bull flag over here. Now we know no two bull flags are created equal. And this one is, well, it was quite prolonged. As you can see, it was really having trouble taking $7 on a decisive closing basis. But that all changed. It wasn't without bamboozlement preceding the change. So you ended up getting a price spike up, a lost VWAP by a substantial amount into 6 2/3. Then you rocketed right back up. This is what we call a specialist breakdown, where the longs are looking to get you pushed out and get your shares at much cheaper, and then they're going to move it right back up in the direction that they wanted it all along. So 720 right now, 737 is the high. It's breaking out. If this candle closes above $7, well, there you go. You get your first 7 close on the day. So KYTX is the ticker of that bad boy, KYTX. Definitely going to keep an eye out on that. I'm still involved in my ELBM trade. Look, this is going to have to hold VWAP. What I've done with ELBM, before we just send it to Adara, is I've gotten in at the $2. This is my last line in the sand. And my stop will go below prior area low. So those are the candles here, at least on the 5, the 11 and the 1105 candles. I've placed my stop below that. I'm looking for this to be a higher low and the trend back up. We'll see if we can wet the beak with some of these resting profit takers And just, I guess, sorry, right before we go to Adara, I know we got to go, but PALI being spoken about here by Gavin Ross. Let's look at our pal Pally over here and see what we're getting. All right, big price spike up there on good volume. Gavin, these two candles here on the 5 have about 1.5 million shares, about 2 million shares, sorry, each. It is almost above the aftermarket high yesterday. I'll keep my eye out on this one. I have no idea why it's price spiking up. Not seeing anything on my blotter. We'll get back to you if I have anything on that. Adair.
Yeah, keep an eye here on Boeing. This is not really a Boeing story, but I think worth keep an eye on this one regardless here because Airbus just released their deliveries for September. 73 deliveries and 10 gross orders for September 2025. Total deliveries here reaching 507 for January through September. Again, BA, competitor of Airbus, but either way, sometimes names within the industry will move together, certainly be on watch together. Boeing, intraday high, great look here for BA. And the S&P 500, speaking of highs, just reached a new intraday all-time high. Back to you.
Thank you. Yeah, Gorv, I'm looking at that. I mean, on Robinhood, I think the best print is what Los Pollos pointed out here. Am I in something? Oh, okay, yeah, bang. I'm in some IBIT right now. I'm only giving this 10 cents or so. So at 35s, we're out as is tanking aggressively. So this might be a quick bang. You're out. Enter and out on this one as we are already negative on it. 3 cents. Let's keep an eye out on this. Bang. And we're out of dodge as the crypto space. Casino, man. That's not a good bang. That's not a good bang, brother. As the crypto space is taking a dive lower, and we take it, we're in and we're out on. Man. Oh man. All right, these guys, man. All right, it's all right.
I'm looking at
Assassino and Fabian, man. These guys are just tearing.
No, it's just Assassino.
It's
just Assassino. Yeah, I love him, bro.
But there it is, right? So you take a little bit of a move lower there in the crypto names. Not too good. Really starting to excel to the downside. So accelerate to the downside. So we don't like that. NVDA is starting to come a little bit lower as well. So we're going to avoid that one. The only thing that I'm really liking right now is the potential short in the.
Joey, you got to cover it.
I see nothing that I like.
All right, there's a one breaking out right now, guys. But look, we're still a little light on volume here. A little bit more than 500,000. BFRG. Just breaking out now. Well, I don't want to say just breaking out now. It looks like it had a pop there at 1020, but on light volume. Look at the volume, though. The volume is always the tell. Look how much higher these volume bars are than that 1020 price spike. And we're going. 198 high, just showed up on my scanner, about 26% and change. I'm not, again, I really want you to be careful here because I'm not seeing a headline. The latest or the last headline that I'm seeing is on the 30th of September, and it goes like something like this. Bullfrog AI announces expansion of internal sales organizations. So that's the last thing that I'm seeing news related on this blotter, but it is breaking out 198 high. It looked like generally it held VWAP here, even though it price spiked up at 1020, did bupkis, held technical levels, and then the volume. Look at that ascending volume profile, higher. So good look there. I don't know who we're going to remove to put on BFRG, but I just want to bring that one to your attention. I think AREB is just losing the bid substantially here. I'm going to put BFRG in its place. BFRG, put that one there. Yeah, here we go. Let's look at this on a trading screen here. Take a gander about what the time and sales looks like. Is this Nasdaq? Yeah, it is. BFRG on the NQ. Here it is. We're showing 98, 1 penny spread. That's good look. 1 penny spread, 32%. The volume's really picking up. I reported to you guys about 580. Now it's 790. So we've already done 200,000 shares in volume from the last time I mentioned it. So keep your eye out on this one. It could be a winner here, but I'd like to see some more interactions with that $2 price level, just so that I can get a feel for who's in control here. Are the shorts going to really look to that psychological resistance at the whole dollar to really take this one down, or are the longs just much stronger than the shorts here? Here's $2. We're not seeing much size posted on the gateways, but we are seeing prices churn. There's a new high a day. It's 202, 203 now, 204. This one's breaking out. Here we go. 205 now, high a day. Now, how do we trade this? What's the move here? How about that 185 level? Looks like we rejected 185 a bunch. We're already below 2 as we speak, so you can get in here and give it to 185. 185 would be my line in the sand, and that's about 10 pennies from where we currently are. In addition, the volume weighted average price show me in and around 185. So I'm going to give this one the old college try. We're going to try to get in over here. We're going to DCA into 185. Come what may. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, Joey. We won't know unless we try. So I'm going to go ahead and look to defend that level, putting my order just above that 185. So we do have, what do we have? 198. So 3 pennies out of the money. Let's go ahead and put some profit takers above 2 in case this one does get a price spike up. But ideally, of course, it comes into that planned DCA and then moseys its way right back on up. So we'll see how this one ends up doing, Joey. Let's see how this cookie crumbles.
Yeah, let's see how that cookie crumbles for sure, guys.
Oh, Rusty's dropping Membies.
Oh, that's my boy too, Rusty
dropping
Dutch.
Membies.
And Bitcoin on the move lower as well too, and you're dropping those mems. It's crazy. Shout out to you and thank you very much for that, my good friend, Mr. Rusty Dutch. Says some things in the chat there that
you like
his lingo. Yeah, obviously I like it, but I could tell he might be over from across the pond.
Oh, does he say "oh my days" a lot?
He uses just saying mate and lad.
Mate. Oh, I love that.
Lad
lad, yeah.
Lad.
He's a top lad.
Top lad.
That's what they say. He's a top lad, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't it? You ever see how they always end the word
Why is it with a question?
Isn't it?
Yeah. He's like, what?
When I first went there and like everybody's like, "You all right? You all right?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm fine, bro. What's the problem, man?" Like, because we've never asked that here, right? Like, that's not the way we do it.
Well, I
love him, bro.
I shouldn't have done that, shouldn't I?
You all right?
Shouldn't I? Yeah. How do Sir Joseph of Options? Sir, yes, Nick Day. How's it going? I like Soundhound here potentially. I think it's kind of gone now. A lot of indecision at the volume weighted average price. I think that NVDA potential long is out of the window for now. We did have a bunch of buying pressure right at the volume weighted average price, which is something positive. Joby's already. No, actually, that wasn't what I was looking at. Was it?
How's it doing? Because I know that Joby, private placement, which I didn't mind too much, Joey.
Yeah.
Because you got to raise money.
I mean.
But I didn't like the 10% drop, but it is holding the 10 EMA on the daily, which pleases me.
It's all right.
Yeah, but look, this is a very, very early
early
technology.
stage, right?
So they got to raise. So I was initially pissed about it, but
I mean, I think Elon's going to be all about that stuff. He's all about getting everything out of the two-dimensional transportation system. Hence why he has the boring company, right? You get it because he's boring tunnels. Would you ever go in that thing? Would you ever go in those tunnels?
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
Just like,
have you seen the Vegas one that he has the Model Ys running?
That's what I'm referring to.
He's got the Model Ys running there all the time.
It's pretty quick too, right? So.
What do you mean?
Like the transportation, like he'll send like another car like 10 seconds after the other. Yeah. It's pretty quick over there. Now as for QUBT, nothing going on in the quantum. IREN, I know our good friend there, Chase the Pax, I think it is, likes this one. IBIT, doing nothing. Are you still selling? 5-minute candle, volume starting to pick up, but that's not enough for me to go long. So hopefully we can hold this 69 level on the session. That'll be absolutely fantastic. What is this? Man, oh man, this, all right. So yeah, we'll go on to the next one. Not going to talk about that. We're not going to shed any light on names that we don't like. Now, CRML Criminal, seen that on my radar this morning. Nothing really going on there. Nice pop up in the pre-market. I like subdued pre-market price action. Nothing going crazy, nothing going parabolic or anything like that. Just wait for that to come into the open. IONQ, we'll go over a couple more names before we send it to Sharif. And then once it comes back to me, we'll go over some options plays and whatever questions that you guys have. For me specifically, whatever it may be regarding stocks, options, put it in the chat, and we're going to use Fabian's cool new tool and go over those guys.
All right, here's the deal. We've got 87s now on BFRG. This is the last line of the sand. This is the 10 EMA. It loses this, I'm out. Simple as that. So let's go ahead and throw in that stop right now, and it looks like I will get stopped out of this one. So this one's going to be like, it's going to look like my first loser over here. What the hell just happened? No, man, are you kidding?
Oh,
that's crazy time right there. No, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so let's see what we're gonna get over here. Give me a second, just watching. This is the right area that I like. This is the 10 EMA, but I just put, I fat fingered, I put the wrong stop, so it triggered me. Just keeping an eye on this one, looking for the move in to the 175 area. It doesn't look like it's gonna bounce off there, so maybe this was a good out. I'm gonna pack my patience on this one. BFRG, it's gonna be my first loser on the day. Tried to get in at the volume weighted average price, not having me, but it's holding up at the 10 generally. So let's give this one another try. Let's see if we can get into this one over here at these levels, and then we'll give it just the breach of 170. So just do that, and we'll throw that in there. So what do we got on for that one? We got 175. Okay, so we'll probably layer some of these orders. We'll see what we can get. If we get stopped out, that'll be the last time we trade this one. It showed up out of nowhere, so these ones can quickly give it up there. We just got stopped out again. So that's the end of that. We're going to take that one off the side chart so that I'm not enticed to trade it again, NERV. Let's just throw that one in its spot. Let's keep an eye out, though, on ELBM. This one treating me a little bit better. So we've got 201s on there. We just took out 09s, waiting at 10s, 2 penny spread. I do have shares on this one as well, so maybe we can get a nice little price spike up and take out some other levels. Let's throw that one in there as well. And then ABVE continues to trend up, looking for that 37 break. I'm waiting above 40 for the next profit taker. But MYO, this one might be coming to an end pretty soon. Okay, because it is now kind of rounded top, rejecting that 130, and now it's putting in lower lows and lower highs. I don't like the look of this one. I'm going to get it, Adara. I'm going to move my stop up a little bit over here to account for these area lows. So if it loses 125, that's going to be the end of the trade, and then we'll give that a little bit of room, MYO, so we'll do that. So that's what we're looking at there. What else we got? Just looking over here at ELBM, not quite making its way up there. So pack our patience over here. All right, just before we send it to Adara, I think we got a super chat here for Adara. Thanks, guys, and special love to Adara from Anuja Swami. Drop in 10 in the chat. Shout out to Anuja. No question, though. Thank you, Anuja, of course, for the super chat. I speak, obviously, on behalf of Joey as well, and I'm sure Adara would echo that sentiment. But we're going to actually send it to Adara so she can say it on her own.
See what she's got going on.
Yeah, thank you very much for that super chat. Always appreciate it. Always happy to be here with you guys. And I do want to talk here about Salesforce CRM. Seeing a report here, apparently the company is planning a $1 billion investment in its Mexico operations over the next 5 years. I have not seen any confirmation of that, but either way, interesting here. Apparently, Salesforce is going to be spending $1 billion on its Mexico operations over the next 5 years. Interesting, too, in a time where we're really seeing a lot of emphasis on U.S. investments. Now, of course, Mexico is part of the UMCSA. They're part of the general, I guess, North Central America, but not U.S. proper. So interesting stuff here. Back to you.
Adara.
Anything else you got there?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know ABV took out the high of the day again, and we just took out 443s. There's 444. So ABVE, Joey, it is up. It is making nice moves. It is still continuing to defend the 10 EMA. I'm still looking at the 5, and there are no breaches of the 5-minute chart. The 10 EMA on the 5, excuse me. So we're going to look to get in more. Okay, we're done our shares. We initially got in here. We added again, and now we're going to look to add again. So right now I'm seeing the 10 EMA at 430. I'm going to look to front run that. We're going to wait at 434 for possible re-entry into ABVE. So that's what I'm looking at there. Let's just quickly look at what we're looking at there. I don't know what the hell this means, so I don't know if I should have let that go, but Yannick, NPWR, let me have a look at that, Yannick, NPWR, he's saying. Sell me a second, NPWR, what do we got on this? Oh, nice looker. Definitely a good looker there, man. All right, this one earned its way onto the side chart. It's got about 1.83 million shares traded on the day. We're gonna take off NERV, NPWR, excuse me, misspoke there. So this one, yeah, it's definitely earned its way onto the side chart. We're going to keep an eye out on that. Look at ABVE go, Joey. Oh, man, I hate this when you get out at the level and then the breakout happens. Because it was stair-stepping up. I'm not complaining. It was stair-stepping up. We did well. But the breakout now it's really going. Now it looks like it's squeezing out some people. So here we go. 30% ABVE, 455 high of day. Seller at 55. How high do we go? This is the best looking 5-minute candle since probably 1040. Oh, try 58 high a day now. This one's on one. I'm looking to get more in. I'm going to be looking to get in at the 10 EMA if it allows me. Just got to pack my patience for that. Shout out to John Del Segno. Snow is pumping. Pam, he said, love that. Bam, bam. Let's have a look here at SNOW. of course, Snowflake. Oh, baby.
Oh, man.
That is a good look there for Snowflake, which was maintained as a buy by UBS, and they did boost the price target from 285 to 310. So the analysts giving Snowflake some love. And why wouldn't you, man? I mean, like, all the cloud spaces are doing good. This is inching into that $100 billion market cap, by the way, guys. $85.1 billion market cap now. Where are we relative to all-time highs? Check that. We're not even close. We have some COVID levels with which to deal. Let's go to the weekly. Oh, dang. Yeah, we still have some room here, Joey. We're definitely breaking out of this level, though. Look at that January, February, March, and March as well, 2024 level. We haven't been at these and above these levels since that time. And the only time we've been back above that was back in early 2022. Look at this straight sell in 2022. Look at that, dude. Oh, my God. This one lost 71% of its value in 2022. Unreal. Yeah, oh boy is right. So that's all of 2022 there. We all remember what happened there. It was a down year. So good look there, John. Ozan, 469 or nothing on ABV. Absolutely. Good look there, guys. All right, we're sending it to Adara. She's got the Happening Now segment.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a fairly light news day, guys, truthfully. S&P 500 just trucking higher, making a new intraday all-time high. And, I mean, we did have these comments coming through, I guess, from U.S. Trade Representative Greer about an hour ago. I never saw them come through my blotter, but either way, it is worth noting he did discuss the pharmaceutical tariffs. Doesn't seem like they really moved anything very much, but I think really upgrades or any price target increases have really seemed to be the major thing that have been impacting stocks today across the board. We saw AMD to the upside on a DZ Bank upgrade, which really wasn't even that bullish. Their price target on it was $165, well below where AMD is currently trading. So interesting stuff here. Just to let you guys know, U.S. President Trump, pretty light schedule today, but at 3 p.m., he will be participating in a round table. I, of course, will be watching that, covering that for you guys. Other than that, his schedule is pretty bare. Then we have DAL earnings tomorrow morning, guys, alongside Pepsi and Tilray. Here's their annual revenue. You can find this infographic on X at TTV Research. I just reposted it. But it is worth noting bank earnings happening next week. So earnings season knocking on the door. Before we send you back to the Bash Brothers, I'm going to take a moment to thank our good friends at Plus 500. Are you looking for a futures trading platform that actually delivers without hidden costs? With Plus 500 Futures, you can get free live charts, transparent fees, low margins, and an unlimited demo so that you can practice until you're ready to trade live. Open an account and start trading with as little as $100. With Plus 500's powerful platform, you can access a wide range of futures markets. The S&P 500, Nasdaq, Bitcoin, gas, Forex, metals, crypto, and more. All in one place. Plus, enjoy a welcome bonus of up to $200 in commission-free trading. Just scan the QR code on screen to apply for your account today and join over 30 million users worldwide who have already chosen Plus 500. Back to you.
Ooh, Dara, yeah, way to battle that one. I knew that yawn was coming. Way to battle through that there. Dara, 1250. All right, Carter, my good friend, I told you to sit up straight here as you're supposed to. It is the proper and the polite thing to do. 1250. All right, so you're thinking January here on some Webull calls. Let's take a look at it. Oh, okay. So my first answer is going to be wait. Right? Well, why are we going to wait a little bit? It's because we're experiencing a gap down day and then also this, right? So your at the money IV is extremely high. I feel like it's going to be cooler here. No, see, it's still relatively high, so you're going to be paying quite a bit there on the premium. I would wait for that to cool down a little bit, but I like where your head is at currently, right? So you're just gapping through some key support levels. Look at the volume really start to increase there. And you're starting to print a hammer candle. So if you get any more buying pressure stepping in, I really like that play. And thank you for pointing that out. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a gap fill, $12 all the way up to $12.75. That could be in the works for sure. But yeah, I most definitely like where your head's at currently on that. Be patient though. Give it a couple of days there, Carter. Why? Just so the volatility can cool down, and then you're not going to be losing value of the contracts just on IV alone, all right? So I like that look. Patience, patience, patience before you decide to hop in on that one there. And Bill IV is so big. I sold Movember puts for 10 rather than buying calls and made the bang. All right, so November Ozan, big time shout out to you on that call out there. I'm long some NVDA, as you guys can tell. These hammer candles aren't coming into play right now, so there's still some buying pressure on the 5-minute. So as soon as it cracks that low, we'll take that 30-cent loss or whatever it may be on NVDA. But you're right, Ozan. Let's go back to those November puts that you were talking about selling. I don't know what date you are, but we'll just pull some things up. And I mean, yeah, if you're collecting premium on those, by all means, 35%. Lock it in. And that's the thing with me, like, so when I first started writing, and what I mean by writing is just selling options, is that I would allow them to go into expiration, but then I was finding that leading into the expiration cycle, you'll have, or sorry, the closer to the like Thursday, Friday, as you get closer, I would collect a lot of the premium, but as you're getting close to that, to the death of the contract, it's pretty dramatic.
I know, right?
But
yeah, I like
anyways,
that though, yeah.
Theta and Gamma really starts to pick up. So if you've already collected, so say you open them up on Monday and then by Wednesday you've collected 60 to 75% of the premium, just close them out and forget about that other 25%. You've gained the majority of it. No point in sitting through the last day of expiration and going through that that Gamma that can potentially just give away all that premium that you've already collected, and you're like, why wouldn't I have just closed it a couple of days ago? So yeah, that's something that I do. Ozan, I'm curious your thoughts on that as well.
Ozan, all right, guys. ABVE this is the best one for me today. We got out what I thought would be the high of the day, 8-60, but this one just keeps on chugging, and it's not letting me in. It's not even pulling into the 10 EMA. Look at this one. Shout out to Video News, who just made his day with ABVE. Thank you, gents. Shout out to I was going to shout out ABVE, but that's not the move, Joey.
It's not.
Shout out to Video News. Good looks, yeah, just as I was speaking about it. Look, I had a DCA to get more in at the 10 EMA. That's an obviously a dated level, but this one is just continuing to churn, guys. Trade it carefully because we know the modus operandi of these ones. They turn around in a heartbeat when you're really not ready for it, and typically sometimes, you know, it's quite annoying to some people. So, yeah, I totally get that. I got to flatten out my trade, though, on ELBM because this is a flat bottom break waiting to happen. So we'll take out the last remaining amount for a 1 penny winner, whatever. This is just dying a flat bottom break. I can just see it lower high with that same area of support. But it's the ABVE show over here. Now I want to figure out how to work into this because I want to get in more because now the breakout trade is on. So I'm going to start basing my entries on prior bar low. I'll wait for ideally a pullback candle. We'll see what we get on that. KYTX. I got into this one. I'm not going to give it much room. If it loses 730, I'm out of the trade. I'm looking for 730 to hold over here and to continue the bull flag into 760. So we're going to risk a little bit over here on KYTX. It looked good, but it looks like it was trying to pop through 740 and was met with aggressive selling. If that's the case, I don't want the smoke. I'm not here to nurse this one and babysit it, okay? If it doesn't want to go, it's all good there. So that's what I'm looking at right now. KYTX is the only one I'm involved in. We're done our MYO trade. We're done ABVE, but that is for the time being because, well, of course, I want to work back into ABV here. ABVE as it goes into 475, 6, 7 now. Can we get 8s? I've got the auctioneer action going over here, but that's because the price action lends itself to this auctioneering voice because this is very, very strong. Good look here for ABVE. Shout out to Rare Seed, like that name. $5 super chat. I've been watching for years since Miss V days. You and I both, brother. I've been silently scooping Duolingo. Oh, man. Yeah, they're back in my good books now, Joey. Duolingo calls today. DUOL is Duolingo, yeah. Today with Matt was massive for me. Thank you all. Love the community. No, we love you, bro. Thank you for that. And Duolingo's up 6%. I've kind of changed my opinion a little bit, Joey, now that I paid for the I paid for the full version.
All right,
yeah. Now I feel a little bit differently about Duolingo. Now that I'm not getting timed out and restricted in my learning abilities. But can I say something to you?
Yeah.
I'm incorporating chat with Duo.
Yeah.
The problem with Duo is it tells you how to say things, but doesn't really explain to you why things happen in certain areas. For example, like the word 可以 means can in Mandarin, but it means can in asking for permission type way.
Oh, the can,
will mean can or will when you're saying I will do this or I can do this without the asking of permission. Does Duo explain that to you?
No.
You have no idea.
And you're paying for that now.
You're paying for that. So I find like throwing stuff into chat and going back and forth with chat, why this, why that, really does supplement Duo well. Which is, to me, why are they not throwing a language-focused LLM into Duo? Capture that, make it even a chargeable product that you can upgrade to. Everybody and their mother has an LLM.
I think it'll get to that point.
You know what I mean?
Everything's going to interpret that at some point. So,
do you want to look at the Duo calls there for your buddy Rare Seed?
The calls be calling.
Yeah, the calls be calling, bro.
DOUL. Maybe we
got
can
a
set up
bunch
that
of
one. Maybe I don't know, man.
Dang.
All right. It's DOL. What is this?
DUOL.
DUOL.
Yeah.
There. Come on, man, get it together here. DUOL. Bang. All right. No, we got it, man. We're getting our ish together over here. So yeah, I mean, no, that's not it, man. Oh, is it? Oh yeah, it is actually that price, man. Yeah, I mean, by all means, the money IV is a little bit expensive, but I'm glad that you're printing on these. I have no idea what strike price. Did they put strike price or anything along those lines?
He did not, there? Joey. What he put
no, he said thank you all. So yeah, we can't really go over anything on that one, but I mean, by all means, everything's looking to me pretty good for you right now. Nothing I can see. There's no open interest. I don't see anything from a call wall standpoint in the thousands or anything along those lines, so not too bad of a look. We got some more super chats today as well, too.
Okay.
Papi. Cito, what's going on? Hello, mate. 5K this week. Good luck.
Hey.
Oh, all right, my friend. Good luck. Don't spend it all in one place. That's what you know. I always say. You want to diversify the places that you go to. You go here and you go there and you go here and you go there. BBI afternoon rally. Want y'all's opinion plus Sean. Well, Sean is not here, but I'm sure he is the biggest of all bear AIs. BBAI, what do we like on that one? We're going to go over Coinbase here momentarily. And then we also had someone else pointing out a name that isn't. They were spamming the chat, and I looked at it, Cypher. And I'm like, yeah, you can't spam the chat and the chart be looking like that. But as for BBAI, look for the curls around off of these lows here. As soon as we get back from Madeira, let's talk about Coinbase.
Hey.
Keep an eye here on WBD popping to the upside here. Warner Brothers Discovery and watch New York Post reporting that Paramount Skydance is talking to Apollo and buyout firms to join their possible $60 billion bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. Again, WBD reportedly getting, I guess, this bid here from Paramount Skydance with Apollo and other buyout firms, I guess, in talks to join Paramount Skydance in their bid for WBD. Back to you.
For that one, much appreciated. All right, guys, so as for Coinbase, I was looking at this name for quite some time. Did I buy it? Absolutely not. But this base that was being formed, you can see that we had these trend lines drawn from before. Now, you see a bunch of the buying pressure here on the daily prints, and then sure enough, I was looking to get involved, but I was in some other names, and from 308, you climb all the way up to 392. It was participating in the crypto rally, and there it is on Coinbase. I think at some point, especially if Bitcoin continues to climb, and it's October, watch out for Coinbase to go and test that previous all-time high just above 440 there, Shreve.
All right, Tilray chart by Louis Julian. I'm assuming Louis, tag me though, so I can see your comment. Do you want the daily or do you want the intraday, Louis? Let me know what kind of context you want Tilray assessed in, because on the day it's negative and it's holding yesterday, basically rejecting yesterday's closing print, which is around 171. It's at it right now. Daily, he says. Okay, great. Look, Louis, let's zoom in on the day. That's good. It's good, man. I mean, obviously, you're coming from really high. I personally remember this at $70-something in 2021, 2022. Let me go back and verify that was right. Yeah, so this is the wheat stock. That's like in the 2018, but I'm talking about this over here. And yes, it was $75. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. Now it's got a 161 low. So you're coming from very, very high, and none of this is split adjusted. This entire thing you're looking at, none of it is split adjusted. That is real price action in the week of September 17th, the week of September 17, 2028, it had a high of exactly $300. Okay? That was when meaning marijuana, got legalized in this country. Okay, so let's go and look at the daily now on a closer level look. And this is a good trend, man. You're getting higher lows, you're getting higher highs. What I like specifically about this is that when you made that higher high, Lewis, look at that, into that 216, it drops back down, but the base, the support level of this price action over here, look how it jives with the previous area of resistance. That's that stair step up. You know, you make that new high, and then when you pull back off the new high, you hold the prior area highs, now support, formerly resistance. So I like that look. It's kind of, you know, the bread and butter of TA if you're looking for trend. This is generally what you're looking for. So I don't mind it from a technical perspective. Now, anything can happen with these wheat stocks. We know we haven't gotten federal legalization. In fact, the Department of Justice is in fact pushing back against the administration's desire to reschedule the drug down. Now that there are business benefits to the rescheduling, it's not just for those who are caught in possession with it. No, it allows the companies who operate in the space to actually offset some of the costs they incur in business as a business expense against their taxes, which is going to be huge for profitability, hence why this thing's been moving up. It fundamentally changes the accounting side, the profitability or lack thereof of things for these wheat companies. So I do like it, but you know, you're coming from much, much, much higher. So I would be looking for resistance at almost every resistance level. Like I would be heavy resistance above these resistance levels. What I do like, of course, is that you're above the 200. You've gotten the golden cross between the 50 exponential and the 200. You got that back on, I want to say early September, September 4th, and the 50 has been continuing to trend higher since that time. So you're getting all the right stuff. You know what I mean? You're not getting bad signals here. Bad signals. So look, I wish you the best. I wish you the best, obviously, on that. I'm sure ACB will probably be $3,000 soon.
I mean,
oh, Assassino. Why about bull?
Why about bull? Why about
all right,
bull?
all right. I don't know what they mean by that, but shout out. I don't know who was asking that, but
I mean, what about bull?
Yeah, I think that's what they mean, Joe.
I don't want to make any assumptions.
So look, this is not a good looking chart on bull. Let's cut the crap, okay? Let's cut it. It's not a good looking chart, Joey, but when you look a little bit deeper, got support here at 10.5. We're showing 1141 low. What I don't like about this area over here are these. I'm sure you know what I'm looking at. Lower high, lower high, lower high. You see where I'm going? Lower high, lower high. I don't like that. I don't like that. Look, I don't know too much about their moat, but they don't seem to be garnering the same type of attraction from the market that we're seeing on the SoFis, we're seeing on the hoods, we're seeing on some of the others, even the Chinese brokerage, FUTU. I don't mean that. Futu breaking out, but bull doesn't seem to be participating, so they must be doing something wrong, and to me, that would keep me away. But I really hope you the best on this. I know Katina Man's involved in it as well.
Yeah, I think it's still early days in bull, maybe. I don't know. Anything can happen.
Of course, Joey. I don't mean to crap on them.
No, but it's crap, obviously.
Yeah.
Like,
but Joey, they've been operating for a hot minute. They went live in terms of IPO, but they've been around.
Yeah. They've been around. So, all right, guys. Matt Marine. I got SoFi 2150 puts that expire on the 24th of October, 10 contracts at $54, just plus 77%. I thought about closing today, but SoFi keeps going up this week. So I think it's best that you just trail that stop. Don't do what I do and just continuously hold unless you're be continuously bullish on SoFi, and I don't think that's going to be the right play. That's my opinion, right? Considering you don't necessarily want to fight the trend. You got that move from the peak at 30 all the way back down south of 25. So I would be looking to cover some. Again, don't be upset that the fact is like, yeah, you had a lot on the table and it's not as much as it is currently, because that's literally my day-to-day life. It's like, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do it? Just do it. So you sleep a little bit better. You're not as panicky. You're not too worried about things. So yeah, do that, also just come up with a game plan, right? That might be much more simplistic than what I'm going on about here. But yeah, so far I like to the long side. You got the move in the downside, so maybe look to save some. Think BTC Haven, we're going to talk about what you got going on with the IAU right after we get back from Sharif.
All right, Joey, and now for some exciting news out of Canada for sophisticated traders on this stream. Beta Pro by Global X Canada. It is Canada's largest provider of leveraged, inverse, and inverse leveraged ETFs, Joey. They've just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs. They offer 3 times bull as well as 3 times bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60. You're going to get exposure to semiconductors as well as U.S. Treasuries. And if you want even better, they've got better. They're offering a special fee rebate, and they're dropping the management fees down to just 65 basis points all until New Year's Eve of this year, December 31st. Plus, keep it down, Ram. I'm reading the ad. Plus, the U.S.-focused strategies use currency hedging, offering the potential for pure performance and exposure. So, if you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3x daily to learn more. Joey.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have to tell you something.
You tell me.
I used to drag Adara into this.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get dragged into this. When I file my hostile work environment complaint with the worker, with whatever work safety board. I'm going to subpoena you, Joey.
Me?
You're going to be under oath.
Brother.
And I'm going to ask you questions about what Ram does on a daily basis.
Listen, I'm going to be like, I have no idea what's going on here. I have no idea why I'm
that's
here.
That's perjury, bro.
It's not,
You're going to do 10 days for that.
I'm not doing 10 days,
You're doing
man.
10 days, Joey.
I'm going to Mexico if I'm doing 10 days, man. I can't survive in there. Honestly, Joey. Bang.
I played.
Let's go NVDL. I did take a little bit more off there. I don't know why, but we'll spin it. On that one there, I'm just like, you know what, I had 50% off, and then I'm like, you know what, let's take a little bit more and be a little safe, because I don't want to get stopped out, break even on that, and I'll just be slightly more frustrated with myself if that was the case. So going long on NVDA, not too bad of a look. Now let's take a gander at our BTC Haven. My friend, anything that you put in the chat with that name, BTC Haven, I'm dropping everything immediately and catering to your needs. So wow, man, I'm really aggressive on some of my things this morning. What do you think about IAU 90 calls May 2026, $100 call January 2027? I mean, we're talking leaps and bounds here, brother. So I don't mind that whatsoever. But let's pull up on a daily. I don't know much about this company. Sharif.
Party don't pull a Drake, bro.
That's crazy,
I kind of don't understand what that means. Adara, what did Drake do that would be involved?
He sued Kendrick, man.
Okay, no, Adara, I want to get you started because it's part of your charm.
Yeah.
Your Drake hate.
Bring in the heat.
I don't even know. Like he's done way too many things, most of which I probably can't even discuss here. But listen to Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar. I think for like a really nice, well-rounded takedown of Drake. That is probably more detailed than I have time to get into. That is a fantastic song. But yeah, I mean, as of late, I'm not quite sure. I haven't heard anything new lately.
He's been keeping a low profile.
Adara, would you still be my friend if I got the heart thing in my head?
Shut the door, Adara! Shut the door! That was so good. That was well done there, Adara. Yeah, the look she gave you, and then she just shut it right there.
The disgust.
That was fantastic.
The disgust is insane.
That was fantastic.
Man. All right.
No.
I worship the friendship a little bit more than style in my hair. All right, NVDA.
My bad, BTC Heaven. My bad. He's like, yo, you're digressing. You're getting Joey off the BTC. I apologize.
Here. iShares Gold Trust. Yeah. I would see, the thing is though, I like the leaps in the gold. You can't go wrong with that. You want to be patient. I wouldn't be buying them all the way up here. I mean, if you're looking to go long term like you are via the leaps, I would just buy one at a time. If you happen to get any form of pullback, I believe that it will eventually at some point. May take it much longer than what we're anticipating. But yeah, as for gold, I love it. Do your thing. I like the leaps most, especially more because you're just giving yourself a longer duration. So that's not a horrible look. But as for NVDL. Let's get back into this. So BTC Haven, you're in the right space. You're going crypto gold, it seems like, and you're going with the actual physical asset. So yeah, we like that. There it goes. NVDL off of those lows. Nice entry right there. We start piecing some out. I'm like, you know what? As we're rejecting the volume weighted average price, let's take another 20-30% off right there and get us about 40% of the remaining position. I'm currently sitting on 33% after we just took that previous partial. Looking for this pivot high, then we'll take another 30% trade.
All right, GTBP breaking out. Shout out to the OG Yannick. It's pulling back a little bit though. 126 high. It just lost the 10 EMA on the 5-second chart, holding now at above 110, which is the 50 EMA on the 5-second. So that's what I'm looking at. My top screen, there's a seller at 15. We can't shake the seller at 15 now. So shout out to Yannick for this, by the way. We're still putting in lower highs and lower lows. It was up 49%. It was up higher at that $1.26, obviously. So I'm keeping an eye on this one. We're rejecting 115. There we go, above 115. So let's see now if we can hold that 115 level or what the situation is. 120, boom. We take that print. Let's go a little bit higher. 124. Anything below 115, where the seller was, excuse me, I'm going to flatten out this trade. Okay, so we're looking for continuation and a micro pullback and a move back up. So what do we got? We got 17s on at the moment. Zigging and zagging, a little 17, a little 18, looking for continuation into the 20s. It is losing 15 though, but barely. Right back above 15 it goes. Again, it holds up at the 50 EMA on the 5. So that's what I'm looking at right now, Joey. Tell them what you're looking at.
Trade the pool. Beat Ackman. Live trading competition.
Cowboy.
I know. October 8th to 10th, every day Ackman makes his move. I don't know why I keep saying it like that. Your mission, outperform him, beat his return, prove you got what it takes. Then the grand finale on October 13th, broadcast live on Trader TV with Trade the Pool live in the studio. Over 600K in prizes are up for grabs, 25K, 50K, even 100 bands, evaluation accounts. Plus, surprise giveaways during the live show. Don't just watch, compete. Beat it. Ackman, win big, scan the QR code, and start trading now. There, guys.
Troy Aikman would be very proud, Joey. Yeah, very proud. Man. There goes GTBP taking out all the orders, and there is the new high day. Shout out to Yannick. We got 17s. It's showing me 27s. Let's pack our patience now, and let's see how the high this one will get. I don't mind adding more if it's warranted. So the deeper retracements, at least on my 5-second chart, off which I identify key areas of support and resistance, is the 50. That is currently showing me right there. This is the level right here. Should we add more? I'm going to add more a little bit over here. Let's see if we get that continuation. Anything below 110 ends the trade. Anything below 110 ends the trade. So we've got 17s on now. Let's put some orders for a nice price spike up, possibly. Let's see what this one has to offer in terms of a trend trade. Packing my patience over here, zigging and zagging at that 15 level. It's losing it though. I think I'm gonna flatten out here, Joey, as it comes into 114. Now it's looking to hold 15s as resistance. Now, that was the same problem before. We're getting that 15 area as a sell area. Now we're getting it again, so we're going to give back a little bit here if it drops below 110, because that's where we're going to stop out. Back above 15 we go. 16s now showing up. Can we get that continuation, though? And not quite yet into 20s. 19 showing up very, very briefly there, and then right back again we go. So there it is. We get the print there. Good look, good look. We need continuation, and there it is. That's the end of the trade there, because it lost. Yeah, look at that. Lost it. It lost it. Good out. That was good out there because it's continuing to bleed. Right back into VWAP now. Could be a buy here, though. VWAP and the dollar are overlapping. I'm not trying to catch a falling knife, though. Going to let that one go. So ABVE, right back into area highs. Right back into area highs. There's that 490 area high. Oh my goodness. Move up on ABVE now about 40%. It gave me an opportunity to get in at the 10 EMA. I wasn't alive to it. So that's going to be on me there, Joey. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at NVDL starting to come against me. Now I see what Fabian's telling me. They're talking about the heart cut fund. They want me to get that in my hair there. I don't think, we won't be doing that anytime soon. Actually, I'll do you a deal, Fabian. I'm a betting man. When you cut your hair, I'll do that. All right. So there we go. Bang. Yeah, all right, guys, let's see what else we got going on. Bitcoin, I don't think it's going to climb to 123 today. We got an inside day. I could be wrong. You're going to wait for the post market, but you can see we've, on multiple occasions, we tried to break this pivot high. Hasn't been in the works. So I don't love it today. A lot of price action to the sideways price action. And I wouldn't be surprised if we take an additional leg lower, considering we had the 8 consecutive days aside from yesterday going to the top side. Gorab's thinking short on the Qs. Charlie, are you still short on that one there? Curious to know. That's not a horrible print, right? We want to get into those lower time frames. Oh my days, there it is. So that's the one that you want to be going off of. You break that 1 minute or that 1 minute candle, and you're looking for that move to the downside. Now, with some of the bigger names continuously grinding, like the likes of Amazon, don't look for a move all the way back to the volume weighted average price. In my opinion, that is going to be your primary target. But are you going to get into that realm? I don't know. You don't want to be going against the Mag 7, especially if they decide that they want to grind higher. So that's what we got going on. We got stopped out of our Bitcoin trade. We talked about this, and then it decided to go in our favor. Fell another 10 cents, though, which I wasn't willing to risk. So this is just a liquidity grab before it climbs higher, and then now you're starting to form another consolidation base. Excuse me, so keep your eyes on that one. I'm posted up on NVDL up here at 95.20, so if we can catch that fill, that's going to be absolutely fantastic. And that is what I'm going over. Let's take a look at some of our other top volume names. Has anything changed on the session? Webull still putting in the most volume on the session here, Sharif, with stocks that are priced over $10, with 103 million shares traded on the session. RGTI, not too bad of a look, but this is a big-time recovery. Oh, actually, no, that was a different name that was up. Nice bounce off of the lows, but starting to slowly turtle back over to the downside. Joby, what the heck? Here, look at Joby go there, Sharif. Bang, all the way 1690.
I had the feeling, Joey. Yeah, like when you're raising, if you're GameStop, like,
yeah,
I don't believe in that business model in the traditional sense. If they want to change to something else, fine. But when you're raising and you're a company that is not doing good fundamentally, and you don't really have a runway, then
there's nothing in the pipeline.
No, this is, I think, the future. Whether it's Joby wins or not, that's not what I'm saying. You're right. We don't know who's going to be the winner in this whole thing, but I like the space, Joseph. And they're getting commercialization licenses in California.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what that's why they're raising.
So do you think you're going to need a pilot license to rock these things?
I think it's going to be a different type of license.
Yeah.
It's supposedly a lot easier and much more intuitive than a helicopter or an airplane. So I've never flown one, obviously, but
the skies will be absolutely a mess.
Can I say something though? No, dude, I don't think so. I think they're going to all really understand where each other is.
Yeah,
I think there's going to be network,
too, right? Like,
and once you have all of them like knowing where each other are, I don't think you're going to have the same
You know what a good
problem,
play would be on this would be landing pads. So who's going to build all these landing?
Absolutely.
Don't steal my idea now. That's my idea. I need to get the rights to this immediately.
Get it, Joey.
That is my future business right there. I am building the landing pads for all the EVTOLs. $5 super chat. Chet GPT. I love the name Chet. Setting up nicely. Hope we get 100 super chats and Joe gets 2 hearts. But bring that back up, man. Why do you keep sending it down so quick, Asino? There we go. Thank you. What do you guys think of Path? Let's take a look at Path. We got our chart up here so we can take a look at UI Path. Not too bad. Hammer candles off the lows. 5-minute print. Absolutely gorgeous right here, as my guy Obi would like to say. Absolutely beautiful.
I like hearing
we like that one there. Boom, 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 boom. You like hearing?
I like these comments, so look at it. Sir firms a lot. I own an aviation training company. Yes. A certificate of some sort will be needed. No, of course. No pilots needed, says LSTD. Trevor doesn't think it's going to happen. I'll laugh my ass off. Never going to happen. I respect your opinion. What else? There will always be airways to travel in. It's going to be awesome, says Eric Barkhurst. Excuse me. Yeah, I definitely do agree with that. They are automated, says LSTD. I don't think the ones that maybe Joby's are automated. I don't think that they are. We'll see. There's going to be a test in Dubai. We've already talked about this. Between downtown Dubai and the airport, it's 10 minutes with these EVTOLs. An hour and a half in rush hour.
Yeah.
And we can sympathize that in this city. especially like I told you my experience going to BMO Field to watch Messi.
Yeah.
And the madness that ensued.
I'm telling you, brother.
Right? Imagine just like Joby teaming up with like an Uber or a Lyft. And getting, it's just going to be.
Think about it.
mad.
Think about how much more convenient travel would be. And if you wanted to go to Niagara Falls, instead of having to go all the way around the lake, you're just beelining it across.
Exactly. No more need for tunnels and stuff like. Well, maybe.
Well, I mean, we'll take the tunnels, man. We'll take all four. Make this stuff 4D or 3D essentially, whatever it may be, 4D, and let's just get rocking and rolling like we are in this NVDL trade. We like this one so far. We caught that fill at 95.20s as we're slowly starting to grind higher and higher on this. I love what you guys are saying in the chat. They're saying Joey Inc., all these things. A lot of people have all this stuff. Starting landing. Mr. Minx, I just started a landing pad company in the U.S. Let's partner up, my friend.
Hey.
Let's get that ball rolling and see what we can get going over there. So really good luck, man. Obviously having some fun with that. But let's go NVDA. Let's climb back into that 188.90 levels where I have some potential resistance there, guys.
All right. This actually looks pretty good, traveling trader B. He wants me to look at MFH, and I was looking at it on the daily. And from the very limited view that I've had so far, this looks fantastic, dude. What, are you kidding me? All right, let's just go a little bit deeper here. Are we coming from the depths of hell? Yes, we are. So these are obviously area highs. There's been 1, 2, 3 split events that I can see, 2018, 2020, and 2023. But look at this. This is what we call an accumulation zone. Shout out to Wyckoff. Yeah, this is a beautiful accumulation zone here into the 200 SMA. Guys, GTBP's breaking out again. It's just touched 127. GTBP, that one that we were involved in, breaking out again. And then rockets up. So this MFH, let me throw in the ticker for you guys over here, MFH. And then it's got an ugly topping tail candle. Look at that topping tail candle, Joey. That's the weekly right there. Let's flip to the daily. Yeah, it's not a good look there, at least, on the weekly. So topping tail on the weekly, coming back down now. I like 25 for the double top as well as the 10 EMA. Let's see if this holds up at 25. What does this company do? Mercury Fitch Holding Digital FinTech. Oh, say more. Company, alongside with its subsidiaries, engages in distributed computing, business consulting, and financial brokerage business. Great. Does it have a reason why it topped on the 7th? Looking on the 7th, that's yesterday, falls 8.4%. It doesn't say why. Looking at the 6th, nothing on the 6th. No, I'm not really seeing much in the way of explanations as to why this thing is falling. Down the story, no, nothing there. No, nothing explaining why. Probably some profit taking. Look, this is a good looking chart. Now, whether the company is good or not, I don't know anything about them. There's just south of $2 billion market cap, 1.997. And yeah, I wanted to say, like, this is a really good looking daily chart. Accumulation, holds, and then rockets back up. Not a bad look. I think he has it by way of options, Joey. What he was saying was peep MFH. This thing exploded. I have it under $2 options on it, Joey. I didn't get filled when it was mid to high 30s. Stock's been a savage. Then he goes on to say, I wanted to short the heck out of it up there. LOL, yeah, I wanted to short the heck of it up there. Look, brother, I don't know, man. I think you might have something here, brother, because if this thing holds up at 25 or anything higher and starts making higher highs and higher lows, you might have something in this bad boy over here. I'm going to probably throw this on my fintech, what's it called? Watch list. We're going to put it with the likes of Hood and Affirm and Upstart and stuff like that, which is the group that I keep them in. MFH, thank you for that. It's down 9.4% on the day, but you saw what it did there. It was a big boy move. All right, quickly here, I just want to let you know we're going to wet the beak on NWPR. Or NPWR, excuse me. We're long there at 15s, just wet the beak right at 30s, give or take. So I'm packing my patience on this one. I'm also trying to pack my patience on KYTX. We have some decent prints there. I'm generally seeing higher lows, but it's kind of wicking below the 10 EMA now, which has me concerned. We're break even on the current trade. So we'll keep tabs on that, Joey.
All right, good stuff. All right, I think this is really important to touch on. We like talking about trading and everything along those lines. But it's not all roses at the end of the day. So Hello. This
Hello.
is Trader John. Yes, well, that's almost what he's getting at from the other side there. Hello. After 3 years and two, and I don't know what they into of watching you all calling it quits.
What?
Ridiculous market, high stress, and not enough money to be made relative. Good luck to all of you. Wish you all the best.
We wish you the best, brother,
Yeah,
and we're sorry you can't stay with us, obviously. Look, man, Joey can speak for himself, but Joey, I've many times wanted to leave this
on a weekly
thing,
basis.
right? Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, I don't know for weekly, but you know what I mean?
No, sometimes listen.
It's tough.
Listen, I'll tell you one thing right now. It's gone through my mind. Sitting at home and going through the years, as of January, I'll be entering year 5. To say that I haven't thought of it on multiple occasions, absolutely, it's not true. Some people are just built different, right? Like Katina Man's been trading for 20-something plus years, right? I think he just grew up into the world of the investing market, so he has a little bit better of an understanding. But for the rest of us who are starting this journey later on in life, Obi brought this to us, and we'll talk about it all the time, is that you have to essentially rewire your brain. Because growing up in obviously in most school systems, 30% win rate, 20% you're not successful. You're failing every single one of your classes. So essentially we're brought up to be like, hey, if you're wrong, you're not going to exceed and you're not going to take that next step in life. That's not necessarily the case here with trading. And that's where I'm getting at with rewiring your brain. You have to start getting really, really comfortable with being wrong. It's hard. I feel a lot, and I told you guys that before. But every single time that you get knocked down and you get back up, you're just that much stronger. So what I have to say to you, Trader John, is go take a break, whether it be for the day, a couple days, or whatever. Reassess the situation. You've been at this for 3 years. Don't think about how much more far you have to go, but think about how far you've came from when you first started trading. And with that being said, take the day off, take the rest of the week off, whatever it may be, but don't quit. Get back up and just really face it on the nose. See where you're going wrong, but also emphasize on what you're doing right. We want to see you in the chat. We want to see as many people as successful as we possibly can. You're in year 3, so you've already surpassed 90% of the individuals who started trading.
Dang.
They think it's a get-rich-quick scheme. It is not. It takes years and years and years. Some people do it faster than others. Well, guess what? I'm an average person myself, so it's going to take a little bit longer. I think if I can do it, you can do it too. So take that break, relax a little bit, and come back tomorrow or Monday level-headed and say, hey, I'm ready to tackle the markets regardless of what happens.
I couldn't agree more. I really don't have anything to add other than what Joey said. It's a tough business, and it's mentally draining. And sometimes you feel like you're doing all the right things and you're not being rewarded. And that's atypical in jobs. You know, maybe in sales, you have some overlap where you work really hard and you can't make a sale, and you really, and obviously you're not making any money because of your commission base. So it's the same thing. You kill what you eat what you kill around here, right? And yeah.
It's literally that, man. You eat what you kill, brother, essentially, at the end of the day. And you got to think about it. To add to your point, Sharif, you're going against the best of the best at the end of the day, right? This is the Wall Street folks. You think that they're going to make this easy? Not whatsoever. But Trader John says, I'm an old man in stress levels, exacerbating health issues.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Showing and showing, keeping going until things. Well, hey, man, we're going to be here. I don't think we're going anywhere. Investing, if day trading is not for you, there's nothing wrong with putting your money in index funds. We're talking about risk tolerances this morning. If you're in the older end, then there's nothing wrong with the bond market. There's nothing wrong with going into the Qs and the SPY and using the sector ETFs. A lot less stress. You can still invest your money, but you don't have to be here from a day-to-day basis if you truly believe that, hey, you're past your prime, you're getting up there, and you don't want that type of stress. Just invest your money. You don't have to sit in front of a screen and watch each individual 1-minute candle print, because I'll tell you one thing, it does take a toll on you. There's no questioning that, but you have to keep getting up. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I'm sure we're going to see you in the chat once again.
Yeah, I really hope we do, brother. And I'm loving all the comments that are coming into the chat now, you know. It's a tough business. All right, guys, GTBP, we've been doing it live with this one. Let's see if this one holds trend. It's got some lower highs right now, which is concerning me. There does seem to be a seller at 25 or 26. We haven't really been able to print much in the way above that. We've got 24s. The thing is, we've been adding into this one, right? We take profits on the price spike up. It comes back down, holds trend, and I wet my beak with some more. So let's see what this one gets. I'm looking for it to hold trend. I really need this one to get above 30. So we'll see what this one does. Look, I've got to stop below 18. It loses 18. It ends the trade for me. So I really want to read a lot of the comments that are being written in the chat. I think that they have a lot of value, but I just really need to keep my eye on this specific trade right now, as this one is an undecided one. I'm concerned about the lower highs. I don't like this. We're flattening out here, break even on the remaining amount. I feel there's a flat bottom break possibly coming in at that $1.20 because we've got lower high, multiple lower highs into that 120 area. So I'm out. Let's see if it sets up a little bit better. Now that'll give me an opportunity to go back and read some stuff. Sage Might says, well said, Joseph. Thanks bigly, Spash Bros. No, thank you. Adam, all class Adam, giving you a round of applause there about what you said, Joey. Party P, Trader John, always good on the hop. Always good to hop on, trade the pool's free sim and sharpen your blade before you head out to battle. Well said. Another very good point. Who else, man? Where is D Westermeyer? I saw D had a comment in there. I want to read D's. Where is it at? Yeah, there it is. Sharif, Joe, I've been trading since 2006 and take monthly breaks regularly and work on commercial real estate, hobby, cars. Well said, man. I couldn't agree more with that. Joseph and I were talking about something completely different today before the show started. And, you know, what I said to him, I'll just say what I said to him. Yeah. I'm like, it is hard in Toronto if you want, you know, to have your own property, you want to have, you know, excess funds to be able to live your life. It's almost impossible to do that unless you have a very high paying job. You need 2 gigs. You need two things to do, right? So when, you know, there's not much coming in on one side, the other side picks it up. And I live that way. I've been living that way since I started here. I work obviously with my family every day and on the weekends at times. And I think that is what is required in the current economic environment, right? Yeah. So I don't think that is, I don't think that's unusual, right? So I like D's comment there. Shout out to D. Makes absolute sense to me. So what else we got? Yeah, Halmies, we appreciate you as well, brother. John Ishrad, not sure if you saw my super chat. Sorry, John, let me go back and have a look. Fan funding, I do apologize about that, John. Yes, Joseph, help. I lost on a Tesla earlier this week, about to lose another 2K. Okay, here it is, Joey. Yeah. TSLL, $20.50 call, 10/10 expiration, 50. What does 50C mean?
A 50-cent call, I think, or 50 call at $1.08 maybe. Yeah,
and then price is 20, bid 43, mark 40.43.
Okay.
Anything you can say to John Ishrad?
Okay, mark 43. Yeah, we can talk a little bit about that. Just understand that, like, so when you're trading TSLL, it's essentially a derivative of a derivative, and then once you get into the options market, right? So TSL being the derivative of Tesla, and then you're just amplifying more potential percentage gains by hopping into the options market. So you have that 10/10. It's expiring this week. I suggest to you is that $20.50 call, 10 and 50 cents at $1.08. Current price is 20, bid mark 43, point mark 43. So yeah, you are a little bit underwater, obviously, as you mentioned. You can roll those over, but if Tesla just really starts to cool down, you got to understand that Tesla, you got to be careful when you're trading TSLL via options, just because of the percentage moves, right? So like if we go out to the daily, it's still going to be lagging because the downward movement is much more drastic than what the upward movement is, right? So We're down approximately 51% from that previous high in TSLL. When we're opposed to Tesla, you're only down about 10% or whatever it may be, maybe even a little bit less at this point. So this is the first thing that you want to keep an eye out, 11% compared to the 50% in TSLL. So you have almost double the implied volatility decay, and then you have the rebalancing of the actual asset as well. So you're going to be paying a tuition to the market right there. That's a learning lesson. So when you're going to be playing TSLL, you don't want it just to be average price movement. You need to be extremely accurate on your breakout. Otherwise, you're going to be getting in a lot of trouble because a 1% move to the downside is going to be a 2% move down in your TSLL. And you're playing a leveraged product, so it's going to be a lot more forward to recover. So unfortunately, you can start writing some calls on that one, but it's not going to do much to those contracts. You might be able to save 10% of what you've lost, 10, 15%, depending on how many you write. But I think this is something from a tuition standpoint that you need to learn, is that if you're going to go that route, buy the actual underlying asset, or you have to be extremely accurate within your entry. That's all I can really tell you. You have to write, or if you happen to get a really strong bounce in Tesla, but you don't want to be living off of hopium. So learn that lesson, understand what you did there, and hopefully I gave you a little bit of help. It wasn't much there. So, all right, we got another $10 super chat here.
Ridiculous.
They're coming
ridiculous.
In today.
Who, Anuja? Anuja's dropping money.
I hold 200 GME shares in my Robinhood, and recently received a 20 GME plus warrants. I'd like to tell me how these warrants function. Any guidance would be appreciated. ChatGPT suggests it will expire. Yeah, so warrants are. So I was reading up on warrants the other day because I didn't know too much about them. They're very, very identical to what options contracts are. But they're issued. The one thing that I found, they're issued from the company itself.
Yes.
They're not on the open market or anything along those lines. And I believe they do have expiration dates as well. So received 20 GME warrants. That's as much as I can personally tell you. I think Sharif can tell you a little bit more on that front. But I think you can. I don't know if there's a specific expiration date on them. Exercise date on them where it's like, hey, I want those shares now.
I think that they can be structured, Joey, in whatever you want. So they can be like, we saw the warrants with, I believe, who was it? OpenAI and AMD. Those warrants vest, Joey, if certain performance obligations are met. They don't all have to be tied to performance obligations, but my understanding is they typically convert from a debt into an equity, right? If the vesting parameters are met, right? So I do like that.
So there's some criteria that GME obviously needs to.
You know who does this a lot? Darwin. Darwin, if you want to chime in here, brother, because I know that you're all heavily into warrants.
I'm going to do some more research because when I was reading on them, they're very identical to options contracts. They're just there's little things here and there that differ. So yeah, I can't give you too much of an answer on it, but I promise I'll do my research on them. But as for GME, listen, we're not going to, as Sharif would like to say, we're going to cut it real quick and just say, I understand that you're holding 200 shares. I had to take my glasses off for that. But do you believe in the company's business model, GME? Do you think that these trading vehicle, like trading cards and everything along those lines and stacking Bitcoin on the balance sheet is going to save GME from its brick and mortar issues? No one's really going to the game store. I get it, you're buying these vintage games, but how big is that addressable market? I don't think it's very large. We've seen the numbers before and they were a bit surprising to me, but how much growth is in there? I don't think there's that much, in my opinion. For me, I just don't like the company and I don't like the trajectory that it's headed in. I get it, Bitcoin's great and all, but it's not going to save it from its foundry business whatsoever. They sell video games, they sell game consoles, and everything is going electronic. So I personally don't like the name. I would not be putting $1 of mine personally into it, and I'm sorry that it may seem harsh, but that's just the reality of it. As for those warrants, I would dig a little bit more, do some more personal research on them, just in case you do get the ability to exercise them at a price that you would like to.
Yeah, Joey, I gotta echo that sentiment 100% about the company. I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings.
No, I'm not.
But there has to be a reason why you feel that there's upside. What is it? I mean, are you thinking maybe, Anuja, that they're going to change their business model maybe to online? Or is there something, like the Tina Man was talking about this morning, I believe he was, about the collectibles push that they have. Is that what you were saying? Yeah. The collectibles push, obviously that's a good margin business. What's your look, Anuja? I mean, obviously the technicals are one thing, of course, but the fundamentals also have to have some sort of of influence on the decision making. So I'd love to hear what you have to say, and no judgment whatsoever. All right, guys, let's take a look over here. My last trade here, the one that we're involved in right now, KYTX, putting it in a bull flag. I'm looking for a continuation, possibly in the 760s to 759 high of day. We've got 39s on. We've been scalping south of 50. I'm seeing some generally higher lows, but it's a bit of a mixed bag. So we'll see how this cookie crumbles. Looking for continuation there. Now, I'm very happy with how the NPWR trade got in. We got in at 15s. We ended up taking out just a little bit below 445. The high of the day is 446. So it's a good stair step up here on NPWR, which, by the way, is coming back into the 10 EMA, which is around 4.25, maybe a little bit higher than 4.25. So I'd be looking at that. Adira, are you good to go? Start the news? All right. All right, Joey, you good to go?
Yeah.
All right. Let me know if you're if you want a little bit more time.
Well, I mean, you guys do your thing. I'll be steady grind.
You're gonna be steady grind. I like it. I like it. All right. So let's get to the news. Before we do, of course, I have to tell you guys that the sheet that we're using every day to do the news is the morning note, which I prepare every day. So let me show you exactly how to get said morning note. Right below the video over here, you're gonna see that button join. You click that button join. This handsome gentleman, aka known as Brendan Wickens, shows up, lets you know what you're gonna get. You hit join. It's $4.99 a month. If it says $6.99, it is an Apple problem. My suggestion to you would be get off that Apple device, go on your desktop, Android, anything else, and you'll see $4.99. It looks like Apple takes a little bit off the top there. We can't do anything about that. So once you do sign up, let me show you where you can get said morning note. And if you're already a member, let me show you exactly where. So you're going to go to our homepage here on YouTube. Just click that, and you're going to go to posts right there. And then, yes, this big one right here, I put it so everybody could see it. Watch list right there. You can't miss it. And if you miss it, just look for the members only green badge right there. Click read more, and there she is right at the bottom and comes in right on your screen. So make sure to get that every day. And if you're not subscribed, well, then get subscribed. Only $4.99, baby. All right, let's go ahead and start that. So now I mark up mine, guys. So if you're wondering why are yours highlighted and mine are not, I just create my own copy. And I don't even mark up the ones that the boys read, like the one that Katina Man's looking at, the one Joe's looking at. They're not marked up because I don't want to mark them up, right? I'll just mark up my own. So let's go on. Talk about this. Tesla launching affordable Model Y and Model 3 variants. Really, Tesla? A little, if you ask me. Assassino knows what's going on. Assassino, I was expecting a Model 2, brother. And, you know, they're just recycling the same Model Y and Model 3. I need answers. No, I'm kidding. So Tesla unveiled new standard versions of course, the Model Y SUV as well as the Model 3. They're going to be priced at $39,990. That's the Model Y, and $37,000 for the Model 3. These are the lowest prices for each model since 2022. Obviously, they increasing pricing every year. The lowest it's been for either model since 2022. The new Model Y will sacrifice premium features like the glass roof, which is there, but covered up and not usable. So if you're gonna buy this, just slit that roof on the top and let it come in, let the light come in. I don't know why they're including the glass roof and not making it usable. You're also not gonna get those vegan leather seats if that matters to you. Shout out to Jima. Check African Amazon, JIMA. We'll do that as soon as we're done this segment. I'll put it up on my my thing up here so that I don't forget. All right, well, I can't load it up. But it's going to offer you this very similar range to the current Model Y SUV, the long range that is. So with the current Model Y, you're going to get 357 miles. With this one, the base version, you get 321. So it's not bad. Apparently, they dropped the battery size a little bit to save on money. The idea here is to stimulate demand, which has been lacking a little bit for Tesla's cars, as well as obviously the lack of demand that could follow from the elimination of the $7,500 EV tax credit. That can't help things. The cheaper trims marks Tesla's first major new consumer-focused product update since the Cybertruck, which was released late 2023. Tesla also launched a new FSD version 14.1. Version 14 was very well met by the market. A lot of people putting videos on YouTube and other social social media platforms of them driving, almost 1,000 kilometers with no interventions by the driver. So it looks like it's getting a little bit better. Adira, look, I got to ask you, I mean, I feel this is quite anticlimactic. We were promised a Model 2 or some variation thereof that was supposed to start mass production in this year. It's making me feel that this is kind of what he meant all along, and for whatever reason, we put on our Model 2 goggles and just wanted the Model 2.
Yeah, I think we put on our Model 2 goggles because Elon Musk is a master of making people believe what he wants them to believe, and I don't blame the world for wanting to have trust in that vision, and I do still think that he's in a good position to actually give us results now, especially if that new pay package gets approved on November 6th at the shareholder meeting. That being said, everything about, and I said this yesterday, I'll say it again today, everything about this model feels like it's just punishing you for not being able to afford, like, the adult, for lack of a better term, the more expensive Model Y and Model 3. Like, what's the point of even having a sunroof if you can't use it? It's like, well, you could use it if you could afford the more expensive version, but, like, you can't, so we'll just give you this. It feels mean. Honestly,
it is mean, Adira.
I don't get what this is. I really don't get why they think this is going to sell. And if this is their response to the lack of the EV tax credit, go back home, try again. I have a lot of issues with this, if I'm being really honest, which I am. Also, guys, the 10-year note auction in 1 minute, and it looks like they did have some voting happen here for the shutdown. So the Senate rejected the Democratic government funding bill. I'm not seeing that we have this Republican plan voted on yet again. So basically what happens here every time they do the vote, they vote on the Republican Democrat plan, then they vote on the Republican plan. And as of right now, I haven't seen a vote on the Republican plan, but the Democrat plan was rejected. No shutdown resolution as of yet. If I have more details, I'll let you know. But yeah, I mean, this is my summary for how I feel about these new models.
All right, before we get to Joey, I just want to show some pictures of the difference. These are the exterior differences. So Joey and Adira, this is some of the, this is the standard one, the Model Y standard. You're lacking, Joey, a front light bar. So you're just going to get those regular headlights. Yep. And there you go, another angle of it. So you're not going to get the front light bar. And you're also, if we can see it here, Elon, you're not going to get the light bar at the back either. You're going to have that contiguous area, but it's not going to be lit up at night. Moreover, you can see the cloth interior here. No vegan leather. So these are some of the differences. They're not quite showing the sunroof or the moonroof in this instance. You can kind of see it's closed up over here. But that's the difference. Now, if you're looking, I'd be like, Sharif, well, I don't even know what the other one looks like. Yeah, you get a light bar here. Now, I know that we're talking, potato, but you're going to get a light bar at the back. You're going to get a light bar at the front. You're going to get them inside, Joey. So what do you make of this whole thing, man? I mean, is this the right move for Elon to drop a cheaper version of a car that he's already developed and, it's right there, easy to make? Or, are you disappointed a little bit that we didn't get that new vehicle?
Yeah, obviously, I think there's a lot of disappointment in the fact that everybody was anticipating the Model 2. He was talking about mass production by the latter half of this year, and we didn't get it. Mm-hmm. So I think that's just, see, the thing is, though, with Elon Musk, he's such an optimist and he's such a visionary. That like he thinks that anything is possible, but then when obviously you get down to the nitty gritty, he probably had people in his ear telling him, you know what, Elon, I don't think it's best that we do the Model 2 just now. Let's just kind of revamp this Model Y and get a cheaper product out that we're looking for.
I agree with you. Yeah.
At the end of the day, people were looking for a cheaper product, right?
Yes, they were.
Right? Okay, so it didn't come in the form of a Model 2, it came in the form of a Model Y. So I think in that aspect, I think he did deliver in some ways, but just not in the way that all investors and maybe the cheaper, people looking for the cheaper alternative were.
Was it our fault that we made the assumption that a cheaper EV meant a new model?
It could have been, right? That's a great question.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, when you talk about something so all the time and continuously about the Model 2 and everything, full mass production, whatever it may be, it sucks that it didn't come into fruition and what people were looking for.
I agree.
But at the end of the day, it is a cheaper model. People wanted cheaper. It's just not Model 2.
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, yeah. Buddy. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., yet there is still no FDA-approved treatment. NISE-listed Origenics Ogen is changing that with this first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. Bang.
All right, let's go about it. Mike Ruskell, I just asked you a question about that Lucid Air. I'd like more information from you, brother, about how you like it. Let me know what your thoughts on it, because they have some Go ahead,
Sorry,
Adara.
I didn't mean to do that. I meant to press the production button. Either way, I'm here now. So sorry about that, guys. We're going to talk here about Boeing. BA on watch here is Boeing's chart. BA apparently being awarded here a contract for 8 additional MH139A helicopters. Also, CoreWeave launching its first publicly available serverless reinforcement learning capability to build reliable AI agents. And last but not least, we did get that 10-year note auction coming through, high yield of 4.117%. Prior to the auction, the high yield was 4.114%. And now back to you.
All right, let's go on to the next story. Yesterday, The Information, a news agency, reported a very interesting, issued an interesting article about Oracle and some issues that we need to concern ourselves with. So let's talk about it. They reported the company's AI cloud computing business has slim profit margins, especially when you compare it to their software operations. So just to give you an example, Oracle generated about $900 million in AI-related revenue in the last report, but only about 125 million of 900 was actually gross profit. And we know they don't take all of gross profit home. That's net profit, right? So that 125 is not even the take-home money. That translates into about 14% gross margins. Well, that's better than some car companies make, but we're not talking about cars. So when you compare it to what Oracle's regular gross margins are, 70% or thereabouts, we're talking about 14. Well, why is that the case? Well, apparently the high server rental costs, of course, tied to Nvidia's GPUs, are compressing profitability within their infrastructure, AI infrastructure division. So the company previously said, Joey, that they had about a $455 billion in contracted AI cloud backlog as of August, which was a 359% year-over-year increase, largely supported, of course, by the partnerships it has with OpenAI and Nvidia. But despite this rapid growth and demand, the capital-intensive nature of the business, and we made the same argument with CoreWeave, if you'll recall, the nature of these expensive GPU infrastructure build-outs is raising their operational expenses, and which have resulted in lesser margins. Guggenheim, Don DiFucci, he noted Oracle may be recognizing expenses before associated revenue fully ramps, calling the profit gap expected early cycle compression. My question to you, Joey, do you think they expand the margins here as, maybe some of these chips get a little bit cheaper, Nvidia gets competed by AMD, AMD's offering a product, they got to drop the price in order to stay competitive, and that expands Oracle's margins a bit?
Yeah, no, to add to your point there, Sharif, so I want to start off by saying I think this was the issue right off the get-go when they were getting all this backlog and all these deals. Okay. Margin compression was the issue. Now, as you mentioned, you're like, hey, well, how are you going to expand your margins? Is that going to be via cheaper chips? What are you going to do from an energy standpoint, right? So that's probably going to be one of their largest 100%. Expenses. So you have to look to save as much capital in that sense with the energy cost and obviously the facilities as well too. So I think it's really important how they're going to do it. I have no idea, but I think you start with energy in some way.
I like it. I like that energy take. That didn't even cross my mind. Adira, this was an eye-opening article from The Information, especially as it relates to margins. Your take?
Yeah, I have a couple takes, and I'm going to try to balance them all. So for one, with The Information, this is something I always like to say about this as a news source. They are sometimes ahead of the ball. Like, they report things before other people report them, but there are other times where a lot of their reports are just kind of summaries of things we already know or rephrasings of previously reported information, for lack of a better term, and sorry for the pun there. But the point I'm trying to make is this is one where I'm always very careful with the headlines I get, because a lot of times, yes, they'll move the market, but they might be things that we kind of already know about, or they're very speculative or opinion-based. Now, with that in mind, I think the other thing I want to say before I get into the actual what was in the report, I want to talk about the context around it. So then Fox Business actually denied this. Liz Clayman of Fox Business denied this around 3 p.m., just a little bit after 3 p.m. yesterday, saying the report was off base and then apparently not based on the actual revenue of the business, which again, I have some more questions about, but Liz Clayman from Fox Business citing unnamed sources who are familiar with the matter and with the company. So take that as you will. This report has already kind of been disputed, but I think, like I said here, Oracle is really desperate to make its cloud infrastructure revenue work. Now, for context, here is their cloud infrastructure revenue for fiscal 23, 24, and 25. And then here is their guidance for the next 5 years. And if you're thinking, wow, that is pretty lofty given how little it's grown in the first 3 years, you'd be right. So I don't know. I think I have a lot of issues kind of with the AI side of Oracle's business. It is well known, and they're kind of mocked for this by certain agencies, including Zero Hedge, for their Zero Hedge, for their very lofty guidance that they will give like years and years in advance. So I think, I don't know. I think it makes sense. You've got these kind of lofty projections. You want to back them up. I think working with Nvidia is the way to go to try to do these chips, but I don't know, this business model seems a little odd, and it kind of falls into the circular revenue thing I know you've talked about a lot. Sharif, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how this ties into their bizarre infrastructure revenue goals, and I do want to say once again, before people come after me and listen to chat, I know this guidance here is based on things that they've already booked. They've already apparently booked this revenue, but that still does not explain the massive increase here and the fact that this was not a metric they reported on their Form 8K until this quarter when they had a double miss and they needed to back themselves up.
Thank you, Adair. Let's go on to the, yeah, go ahead.
We got a super chat that we want to cover. Also, Ethereum and Bitcoin are ripping new high of the day for Bitcoin there. IBIT going up to $70. But let's touch on that super chat. A couple super chats that we missed there. There goes Bitcoin, man. Oh man, look at this miss op right there. That was a good one. Straight to the top side. Should have took another stab at that. But let's get to it. I promised you guys we would, so let's do it now. Did you do SideQuest Investors one? Number, UPS, insider buys, dividends, flat bottom, gap fill, thought on midterm, Christmas presents. All right, let's take a look at UPS here, and then we're going to get over to Grizzly over there.
So AMD's 8%.
Yeah, it's nuts. UPS gap fill, I think it's already filled it from a daily, right? Yeah. I think that's, if you want to go for a hard gap fill, then you want to get at the top end of that range. But there goes Bitcoin, big time recovery there. Are you referring to this gap? That's a ways away, but you can see that you are starting to form a base, 82.38. Now there's going to be some key resistance zones that you want to look out for. 89.56, correlate that with the chain. You have high levels of open interest, then maybe stay away. You might get the magnet effect there, but then some rejections, but not too horrible of a look there considering. I don't want to zoom out because it just gets worse, but at the end of the day, you might get somewhat of a bounce, but you can see that the downwards trend is still fully intact there, guys. Now, as for Grizz, SMCI options call October 10th, 57 calls to roll these over. Any advice on what date range and strike price should look interesting? Yeah, let's pull that up. 57s here for you, my friend. SMCI, you like the 57s. Okay, so that's a little bit out of the money. You bought right at the peak there. You can roll them over on the same strike, but just go further dated, right? So for me, I would start looking at the Januaries. You want to see what's going on in January, and then if you have that capital, even go further out. February and March is something that I would be looking for, but you add a little couple more months. Actually, you know what? Never mind that. Just skip the Januaries. Just go right to the Marches. Roll those over. See if you get an additional pop. I wouldn't be surprised if you break this previous peak, considering the chip names have been trading relatively well as of late.
All right, Joey, you know what time it is? It's time to let everybody know there's a new
all-time high there.
All-time high on AMD, yes. So that price spike up a few days ago took us to 227.80. Today, the new high, 228.29. AMD, new all-time highs. Just want to make sure with this, yeah, that's 227.30 from over here. So I just want to make sure before I got all excited. So AMD doing real well, man. 7.5%, knocking the door of 8. We'll keep tabs on that. And yeah, shout out to everybody involved. I am not in AMD. Let's go. What's up?
No, sorry. I was just thinking out loud.
All right, Nvidia backs Elon Musk's XAI in a massive $20 billion funding round. Let's get right down to it. So Elon's AI startup XAI is raising about $20 billion in new financing. Most notably, he didn't give us a valuation at which he was raising. I'm assuming because he's behind OpenAI, Elon and Sam. That's funny. It's doubled the earlier reports, so they doubled from 10 to 20 with Nvidia among the key investors. The round combines about $7.5 billion in equity and about $12.5 billion in debt. It's structured through an SPV. They're calling this a special purpose vehicle, and it's designed to buy the Nvidia GPUs on behalf of XAI and then lease them back to XAI for its Colossus 2 data center out in Memphis, of course. Nvidia's stake in this entire matter is going to be about $2 billion, which is obviously going to help Elon expand access to the very critical GPUs while allowing, of course, Nvidia to help deepen its presence. Here's the deal, though. Nvidia's participation reinforces the strategy that we've seen them employ lately to accelerate the AI infrastructure adoption. We've seen it when they've taken stakes in OpenAI. We've seen it with CoreWeave. We've seen it many other times as well. The CFO of Nvidia, Colette Kress, recently said the company will use the cash that it has on hand, which is plenty, to, quote, help other companies deploy AI faster. Obviously, that helps their moat because that's what they're involved in. And just to give you an idea of how much has been spent so far year to date, in total, listen to this, Joey, U.S. tech firms have raised $157 billion just in the bond market. Not even equity raising, just in debt. That's up 70% year over year. Nothing really that I was too surprised to hear because we've seen AI CapEx accelerate. Moving on, a lot of people are calling this a new arms race, the AI race, right? Demand for NVIDIA's GPUs is far exceeding supply. We know that. But what's interesting about this whole story is the way that they're structuring it. So industry experts are noting this kind of unique debt plus GPU leasing model through the special purpose vehicle could become what they're calling the new blueprint for AI financing, which reduces balance sheet risk for the startups. The structure also allows financiers to recoup capital via GPU rentals over 5 years, Joey, while all the while XAI gets to retain the long-term access to compute.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's just a lot of CapEx being spent here. These guys are just going to continuously spend. They're going to build out. They're going to do what they want to do. Let me pull up something here I was looking at. Yeah, so, I mean, there it goes. Like another funding round. Guys, I don't think things are going to cool off like a switch, right? Like it's going to continuously go. And then eventually you will start to see that CapEx slowly start to come down. But these guys have the cash, and they're going to continue to do what they're going to do. Is it ever? And that's what I was leading towards asking Sharif. Yes, do you think that there's a cap on some of these LLMs and AI? He's like, no, man. You can just continuously find something new, be innovative, and look for that next step. So you might not see that exponential spending that we're currently seeing. You might see it cool down a bit, but in the in the long run, it's gonna be there. I think this is gonna be a new trend. How's your build out? How much infrastructure can you create? And I think that's just the narrative and the structural change that we're experiencing in the world today.
Yeah, I agree, Joey. And like the thing is too, like think about a lot of this, right? When you have the energy structure built out, like so when you have your SMR system or small modular reactors or whatever nuclear plant you're gonna build or whatever source of energy, once you have the infrastructure built out, you're able to expand it a lot easier, right?
And cheaper.
Right? And when you have your data center, like the actual physical building that you house the GPUs in built out, you don't need to rebuild those again. No. You need to keep buying GPUs though.
But the most expensive aspect of it, just the building of all of the the thing is completed.
It is part of it.
Part of it, right? Aside from obviously the software, the hardware, software is on the inside, but the structure of things is completed.
And that's what I'm trying to get to. So for example, we've seen Caterpillar really rocketing up, breaking 500 lately. Hold on, I'm getting to my point, right? So how many times are we going to see Caterpillar continue to run on AI demand? Because at some point, the data centers, the physical building is going to be built out. And then it's going to be sort of the recurring yearly thing when we have to buy new GPUs. So the point I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of different industries riding that AI tailwind.
Currently.
Do they all ride it continually, or do some players drop off and others continue to do better?
Yep, I think that's the case, right? I think that's the case. That's the case in I think most things, right? You have the leaders, and then you have the people who are just slowly starting to be phased out. I like the point that you brought in, like the Caterpillars and the John Deeres, who are you need this machinery to build those things, but eventually that will all cool off. You're not going to be building as many data centers, and then you'll see the cooling in that aspect. But as the technology keeps getting better and better, Jensen coming out with a new chip, you need better compute, more compute. That spend will be there, but as for the tail half of things, that will cool down.
Not fair. It's fair.
Sorry, we're gonna go to Adara here, but guys, look at the crypto space go. There goes Coinbase, there goes Ethereum, and there goes Bitcoin. So I don't know if there's any news or anything, just a technical breakout, but it's really starting to skyrocket here now, guys.
All right, Adara, take whatever angle you want. Special purpose vehicles, the discussion Joey and I were having, the lack of valuation, Adara, while raising by XAI.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The angle I will take is Nvidia spending a lot of money lately, and like I said, I think it's pretty interesting because this is a company that we were not really seeing make these kind of deals. Now in the last month, what Jensen's like, hey Intel, you get some money.
Yeah.
Hey OpenAI, you get $100 billion. So I mean, I think maybe they've got some cash aside. Jensen's ready to make some strategic decisions. Now, I think it, maybe this XAI collaboration makes sense, but it also makes sense for him, I think, to get in Elon Musk's good side, because if Elon wants to keep building all these data centers, he definitely sees Tesla as an AI power play, not above all else, but certainly in addition to all the other aspects of his business. So I think this could hopefully just be the start of Jensen and Nvidia getting involved in different Elon Musk businesses, perhaps, is like a way I could look at this. Like, if they're going to do more AI stuff at Tesla, even robotics with Optimus. You know who else is working in robotics right now? Jensen Huang and his team. So I actually think that I'm going to view this in kind of a different light and see this as a potential start of a beautiful friendship, to quote a movie here, between Nvidia and Jensen, and then also Elon and his many, many businesses. No, but to build on your point, Adara, we know that Jensen and Nvidia are building the Jetson robotics processor. So your point very well taken. Agree with you. Thanks.
So here it is. Over under before Elon gets mad at Jensen for building rockets at, I'll give it 6 months.
But I think they're going to work together, Joey, because he's making the GPUs.
Him and Sam Altman were working together at one point.
Too. Like, this is why I think Jensen Huang is probably like the least. I think he's the CEO that is the most chill of like the more outspoken big tech CEOs. I'm not talking about Sundar or Satya here because they're both pretty chill as well. But with Jensen, you really don't get a sense of a lot of ego. Like, he knows what he wants. He knows how to work with his employees, but he doesn't have that, massive I need to run the world vibe that we get from our pals like Elon or Mark Zuckerberg, even to a lesser extent Sam Altman, like some of his, very lofty worldviews about AI. So I think with that in mind, it's kind of hard to clash with someone when you've got someone like Jensen who is a lot more calm, a lot more controlled, and more business-centric. Like, for example, it kind of made sense that Trust would fall apart because those guys are both very, very big personalities, but Jensen's a lot more measured, so I actually don't know if there would be a big beef in the same way there, Joe, because I think Jensen would be able to hold his own pretty well.
I agree with you when it comes to his outward disposition, but when you read Adara, or sorry, not read, when you watch some of his interviews, he wishes suffering upon people. Well, and I think you've seen this. You and I have talked about this in the past. He's very, very Darwinian.
And he's competitive, too.
Yes. You know what I mean?
Like, you have to be at that point. To be at that status, I don't think you can be passive-aggressive.
Yeah, well, there you go. No, but your point well taken. Thank you, Adara. All right, let's go on to the next one. Joey, Intel unveiling Panther Lake, its first in-house 18A laptop chip. That may mean nothing to you right now. I'll explain it. So, Intel will unveil the technical specifications for its next generation Panther Lake laptop chip on Thursday. Its first product fully built on that 18A manufacturing process. So the 18A is essentially a node that Intel has developed internally for its foundry business. Some people liken it or make it or compare it to the 3 nanometer process developed by Taiwan Semi. So this is their own in-house built 3 nanometer chip, according to the reports. And it's not going to be, AI specific, although it's going to have AI capabilities. It is for your laptop. So the 18A process marks a critical milestone for Intel's comeback, bid after years of manufacturing delays and share losses, both, of course, to AMD and Taiwan Semi. Panther Lake will serve as Intel's flagship high-end laptop processor. Remember the i9 Pentium inside, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of what this is going to be. It's designed for premium notebooks, Joey, and it's going to launch in early 2026.
Yeah.
Panther Lake reportedly, according to some of these early leaks, delivers a 50% performance improvement in data processing and 30% greater power efficiency as compared to Lunar Lake, which is their prior generation. Unlike Lunar Lake, though, which was primarily produced by competitor Taiwan Semi, Panther Lake is going to be entirely built in-house at the Arizona foundry. And if you're Donald Trump and if you're one of those people that is looking to reshore chip manufacturing, you're pleased with what you're seeing here. So Intel showcased their Fab 52 facility, Joey, that's in Arizona, which houses said 18A process technology. Their yield rate for Panther Lake has improved from 5% in late 2024 to roughly about 10% this past summer. So making strides there, and analysts view this, Joey, as the chip as a litmus test for Intel's 18A manufacturing, which could, of course, set the tone for the foundry business, because we know possibly now they're going to have their first client in AMD. Not quite Nvidia yet, but we'll have to wait and see.
No, you know what, Sharif? When I was first starting to build my home PC, I was stuck between two things. It was the i chips, the i5, right?
Oh, remember that? And the i7.
Right, the i, right, exactly, right?
I remember
or
that.
the R7.
Oh,
right? Or the R5.
I don't know about that one.
Ryzen, AMD, right? And I think, from what I'm seeing in the chat, and Obi knows a lot about the computers as well too, there's been a drastic shift from the Intel chips over into the AMD
100%.
Ryzen. In the gaming world, that is. And obviously, we're just using it from a day-to-day basis. Now that they're coming out with these new products, they're getting money from NVDA. They're also doing other deals as well too. I don't know if this is going to be a big-time needle mover. Is it a step in the right direction?
Yeah.
I think so. But again, I just think that Ryzen is dominating the space, and obviously the NVDA chips as well too. That I don't think this is going to do too much for Intel. They got too little, too late, and they got a downgrade as well too this morning.
They did.
So I don't know
fair. All right, Adara. Look, do you think that maybe if they do well in-house with this 18A node, they could sort of somehow persuade other customers to get on board with their foundry business? What do you think about this?
No, I honestly don't think so, because a lot of them already are super loyal to Taiwan Semi, right? They already have a base there with Taiwan Semi. And I think two of, again, the more, at least outwardly, kind of charming and self-effacing CEOs, Lisa Su of AMD and then Jensen Huang of Nvidia, they both recently, very kindly friend-zoned Intel from a fab perspective. Like Lisa Su was asked, hey, so you guys have your OpenAI deal. Are you going to start, working with Intel? And she didn't even name Intel in her denial. She just said, we have a really great relationship with Taiwan Semi. So they do not want anything to do with Intel, basically denying those reports that were already kind of denied that AMD and Intel were perhaps in talks for the foundry business. Then Jensen Huang, who made a deal with Intel, also said, we like what we're doing with Taiwan Semi. So I think it's maybe not even disloyalty or dislike of Intel as much as it is loyalty to Taiwan. But if you have something that is really good with TSM, why are you motivated to go with Intel's foundry other than other than the U.S. asking for investment? But Taiwan Semi has already committed over $100 billion to investing in the U.S. In fact, Trump jokingly said, why can't you give me $200 billion? So,
but Adara, they can't build out everything out of that Arizona fab. It's got a certain amount of capacity. So even if they start building there's going to be a cap on it.
That is very true. But I still think, especially because it's working so well, maybe you don't want to take a chance on something that at that point only Intel has used. You know what I mean?
Fair.
And the reputational risk to that too, I do think is significant. It's good for Intel, but I think it's bad for anybody else, at least right away. Furthermore, I want to mention they actually got a downgrade this morning too.
Yeah,
price target increase, but I think specifically with that, they said the extent to which Intel has run up is not really justified by the news, which is just that people are investing in it, right? So that I think is worth noting too. I think we have to see a larger sentiment shift beyond just a couple investments from admittedly major parties, but still just a couple of investments before we really see a run up in Intel to get from a stock perspective on this.
Great take there, Adara. Do agree. Go ahead, Joey.
Before we head on to the next thing there. So we got some people in the chat. Where did you post that up? So Adam James, HPN Healing Pain Natural. I tried super chatting, but it didn't go through, and they charged me 5 times. Damn.
What?
With saying look at ABVE, it's a gap filling to $8. So with that being said, we're going to obviously cover what's going on.
Well, I've been trading this one all morning, Joey.
There you go. You want to cover from?
Absolutely. I mean, this is beautiful, brother. I mean, look at the cleanliness of the Joey. Can you spot?
That's
Let's just play a little, maybe spot the wick below the 10 EMA. Can you spot one?
Nope.
I only one. That's
there.
8. That's 930, brother.
After the open?
That's 930. I mean, the 10 EMA, and that's what I was doing all day. I stopped trading it, obviously, but the 10 EMA is the buy area. You buy off the 10 EMA. It loses the 10 EMA on a closing basis. You get out of there. It's a very, very clean buy program, and it's almost up 60%. And look at the characteristic of the name. Is it a bamboozler, right? Does it make a new high, then immediately drop back down and break lows? No, this one doesn't do that. It hasn't broken the 10 EMA once. So get used to that, you know, the ebb and the flow of this specific name. And to me, it's a clean one. Higher lows, higher highs, small pullbacks, Joey. Is that it? Should we go on?
Yeah. I mean, we're still climbing, man. Look at Coinbase Go. Look at Coinbase Go. This is absolutely insane from that breakout here. Volume not even really the VWAP not even really tracking price that aggressively, but there it is, man, a big time breakout. This is exactly what we want to see. Considering yesterday's selling was extremely aggressive, the crypto space and the bulls are shrugging that off and starting to recover half decently here on the day, Sharif. Actually, one more thing. Let's take a look at this on the hourly. How we snap trend. Yeah, so we held that trend. We're now going up here. I think this is going to be a key base that we want to keep an eye out for. You can see somewhat of a head and shoulders pattern being formed right at that 70-50 level. So we're going to keep an eye out on that and monitor that. But other than that, fantastic move in the crypto space.
We'll start, Joe. All right, yeah, and your friend ETH there is up 1 1/3, huh?
But yeah, well, I mean, I only got that.
There,
well, I mean, brother, I got way more.
He's up big again. He's up big again.
I was down double than what I was up today. But I mean,
all right, well. Tell him where you're up from the entry, Joe, and then we can have a conversation.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell him what. Okay, you guys can do the math. It's not that complicated. I have 5 contracts of IBIT at a value of $8.71, and they are currently trading at. My average price is $8.71. Where are they trading at right now? $12.40.
Oh, I'll hit that one. Yeah, you can digest.
Simplistic.
So we were just talking about robotics, of course, with the Jetson GPU. And now Alibaba is throwing their hat into the robotics ring. So let's talk about it. Alibaba Group, of course, has officially formed a new in-house robotics and they're calling it an embodied AI division. I love that. Marking its entry into the rapidly growing global race, of course, to merge AI with physical robots. We talked about that. Jensen thinks it's the next AI frontier. The team operates under Qwen, which is their version of their large language model. Alibaba is, of course, AI model division, led by executive Justin Lin, who previously developed Alibaba's multimodal AI systems capable of understanding, as we know, text, sound, and images. Hence, that's what multimodal means. Justin Lin stated that the multimodal AI systems are evolving into foundation agents capable of performing long-term, real-world reasoning tasks. Pardon me. And here's the strategic focus. So the move signals BABA's pivot towards AI-driven hardware integration, which is obviously reflective of the overall global trend. And then this investing in this embodied intelligence. The robotics unit aims to bridge Alibaba's digital ecosystem, which is cloud, e-commerce, logistics, with the physical automation tools powered by Qwen large language model. So look, we don't have too much in the way of information about
what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Just to say that BABA is throwing their hat into the robotics race.
Listen, we talk about over here all the moves that we're making, but look what Alibaba's been doing, Sharif. Centers in Brazil.
Up 113% year to date.
Up 113%. It was breaking out China stimulus, building centers in Brazil, South America, other countries as well too. Now getting involved in robotics. I mean, we think we're getting in America and Canada, we got this build out, but watch out, China's right there. It's a neck and neck race in my opinion, and I think they're going to continue to be that way. If they're going to do something, guess what? They're going to get right on top of it as well too. It doesn't matter what 100%. It is at the end of the day. They want to be a leader just as much, and they have the populace to do so. Taking how many people out of poverty over the past 30 years or
easily,
something like that?
It's ridiculous. And we know that they have a very receptive government that really does champion technological advancement, whether by money or giving them infrastructure. So they have a very supportive, and it's a centralized system of capitalism. Let's cut the crap, okay? It's not communist. They're very much capitalist, but they're centralized, which obviously differentiates them from us. Guys, ABVE is breaking out aggressively now, 578 high a day. Keep your eye on that small cap gapper, ABVE. All right, Adira.
Ethereum's going nuts.
Ethereum's going nuts.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's good. All right, Adira, what do you think about BABA throwing their hat into the robotics ring? We are late a little bit on details, though.
Yeah, before I talk about that, I do want to announce that Google has said they're going to be investing 5 billion euros over a 2-year period in AI infrastructure to power Belgium's digital future. So yeah, apparently a Belgian investment here from ORCL. I just want to mention that. But let's talk here about BABA and the robots. Again, no details on this, but I think with their AI space, they've done really well. As I always say, Quen Moon. And usually there is a bit of a pop-up at Alibaba when we get Quen-related announcements. As far as I've heard, it performs pretty well on benchmarks. So like they can do AI. It seems like, you know, moving into the robotic space, we just talked about Nvidia, we just talked about XAI and Tesla and Optimus. It makes sense as a timely manner, and I think they can probably get it done. Because of the lack of detail, I don't have too much more to say on it.
Fair enough, yeah. There is not too much that they said other than they're throwing their hat into the ring. Okay, Amazon launches prescription drug kiosks at medical clinics. It's in California, but I think this is very interesting and could disrupt some of the business models that are happening. And I would know about this because this is what my family does. So Amazon is launching prescription vending kiosks, Joey, at select one medical clinics in LA, marking its latest move into the $4 trillion US healthcare market, operated, of course, by Amazon Pharmacy. The kiosks are going to function like automated pharmacy dispensers, allowing patients to receive prescriptions within minutes of their doctor's visits. Interesting take there, because sometimes, you know, you're waiting 15, 20, half an hour for your prescription. Each kiosk stocks hundreds of common medications, including antibiotics, inhalers, blood pressure drugs, and it customizes each clinic's patient needs. This is very interesting here. I got to show this to my old man. Amazon's goal is to eliminate post-visit pharmacy trips, of course. And if you know anything about the business, they are very, very interrelated, to the point where the pharmacies subsidize the rent for the clinics, because the clinics write prescriptions, which is what drives the pharmacy. So this is a very interesting development, which addresses a key issue where patients fail to fill up to 30% of their prescriptions due to what they're calling convenience barriers. So Amazon trying to circumvent that whole thing. They're talking about a streamlined patient experience. So patients first have their prescriptions sent to Amazon Pharmacy for verification. Then they complete their order through the Amazon app and scan a QR code at the kiosk, and then just retrieve their medication. So super simple. So it's almost like having your food dropped in by a drone into a locker. You scan the locker with your phone, and you get your food. We know that they do that everywhere in China. So before dispensing, though, Joey, a remote pharmacist performs a final verification called counseling, and the patients can connect, to that pharmacist via video or phone for the consultation, because they can't give you the prescriptions for the first time without doing that consult, or they got to get you to sign.
We'll talk about that in a second. Look at this screen. Assassino Brando sent us that. This is China's gold. Like, this is how much they get. Like, are you kidding me? In kilograms? They're just like, you know what? Bang, 2025, let's just start hoarding this
Well, they don't want to hold the US dollar anymore, and that's the thing. That's what we've been talking about.
Beautiful hedge, right?
Exactly.
So there it is. That's insane amounts there, and that's why I guess you can't really short that name right there. But okay, what was I just about to do?
I don't know.
Assassino, you had something for me? I forget. Okay, all right, cool, no problem. So we'll just continue. We'll ramble on about that. Okay, there we go. We're on to it. New traders, listen up. First month free.
Get it, Joey.
That's right. We're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to elite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with back testing, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now.
Okay.
Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Shreve, actually, I read about this. I was telling you about this a while ago in regards to Amazon and getting into obviously the healthcare sector. I think this name is starting to diversify, just like Google in other ways. You now have Zoox, you have AWS, you have the e-commerce business, and then now you're getting involved with the pharmaceuticals. I think this name is just going to continue to grow, and they're going to continue to expand, and that's why I potentially like in the near future as Amazon as a potential just ETF, a basket to get your hands on a bunch of different.
And Joey, we've seen them not shy away from going into new sectors, whether it's the picking up that Roomba or whatever, that vacuum that goes around your house, or Amazon Prime, or completely removing the UPS and FedEx, and then doing their own logistics with their own basically courier company. They have no qualms, Joey, about getting into something different. They got the money and they got the ambition too, man.
So yeah, I mean that's a good look. I think Amazon will be doing just fine. I mean the healthcare sector sucks right now. It's underperforming just like the energy sector. But this is a little bit different of a game, I think, in my opinion.
All right, Adara, what do you make of this Amazon story here? At least to me, you know, it's important because this is kind of what we do. Does it move the needle for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Nice look for the stock today, though not necessarily, I guess, on this news that Amazon can move and whatever. Yeah, I think we'll have to probably, this type of thing where I want to see it's more how it's kind of received by patients, right? Not something I would probably use, truthfully. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is a pretty crowded space. I think especially with the Trump RX announcement, too, there's already, like, you know, governmental level, quite literally, changes being made to the sector. I'm kind of meh on this story, to be honest.
Fair. Okay, let's go on to the next story. Joby prices $500 million stock offering to fund certification and manufacturing. So Joby Aviation announced the pricing of an underwritten public offering of 30.5 million shares of its common stock, priced at $16.85 a pop, raising approximately $514 million in gross proceeds. The underwriters also received a 30-day option to purchase an additional 4.58 million shares. That potentially increases the total proceeds that they can make, if it fully exercised. So Morgan Stanley is serving as the book running manager for the offering, and the transaction is subject, of course, to customary closing conditions, and the company expects the deal to close in the near term. They didn't give an exact date. Guys, I want to bring your attention to RKDA breaking out right now, looking to take out 5. I'm watching it on the top chart over there. So what are they going to use the money for? I'm talking about Joby, of course, the use of proceeds. The funds from the offering will be used to first advance the FAA certification and manufacturing efforts that they've taken for their EVTOL business. Electric vertical takeoff and landing is what it stands for, and to prepare for the commercial operations, including infrastructure and pilot training. And lastly, they want to support the general corporate purposes, which is kind of just a general statement we typically hear when companies raise money, such as scaling production and R&D. But the capital raise comes as Joby works towards the goal, of course, of launching commercial air taxi services, potentially positioning itself ahead of competitors like Archer and Lilium in the EVTOL market. We know separately Joby has a deal with the United Arab Emirates in Dubai as to kind of take you from the airport to downtown Dubai, which should be starting quite soon. I think it's the first half of 2026, if not the later stages of this year. So Joey, they raise money, their stock drops when you raise money, but I'm going to put this question to you. Is this a good raise?
Yeah, I think so. And it brings to what you brought earlier, right? Like when you're raising, you brought this point up earlier, which I think is fantastic. Is like if you're raising capital and your foundry business is just stinking, like GameStop and some of these other names where the fundamentals aren't, there's no potential runway and room to grow, then it sucks. But with a name like Joby, if you're forward-looking early in the stages, and I think with this specific space, the EVTOL space, is that there's really only room to grow. It's the same thing as autonomy. You're just like getting into the midst of it. You haven't even really scratched the surface. And with this, we're not even in the early innings with the EVTOLs. We're in the pre-game, Sharif. We're still on the way to the arena. We're on to the way to the stadium. So there's still so much room for this space to grow. So I think that raising of capital isn't a bad idea.
Can I tell you my fear about this? That they're a small company. And a Tesla or an Amazon comes in, throws up a ton of money at it in their division, and just runs Joby and Archer out of business. Doesn't even bother acquiring them. They're like, no, we'll just bankrupt them because we just have that much more money. Because Joey, it's like, I get there's aerodynamics and everything involved, but at the end of the day, it's about making the airframe light and putting some big boy batteries on there.
And production.
And production, of course, which Tesla is already good at, which we know. So that concerns me. I'm invested in the stock, by the way. I want to make that very clear. So I have a bias here, but I'm concerned.
You can get the buyout, right? So if you get a buyout price, that's not a horrible thing, right?
Why would they buy them, though?
Why
would they buy them? Why not just bankrupt them?
You could do that.
Right?
Hostile takeover as well. Just buy all the shares. But I don't know if that's going to be in the realm. That's the thing about these hyperscalers and some of these mega cap names is that they literally have the cash to do so. As Shreve mentioned, these guys are a smaller company, but I think if your product is good enough, people will go with that. You got to start somewhere. You're not going to just be the biggest thing right out of the gate.
But Ichiro in the chat, and he's usually dropping pretty interesting comments. I like Ichiro. He's there. There are other values like certification, licensing, etc. So if Joby's already got that certified, Tesla doesn't have to go through that process and have to deal, of course, with the political headwinds that they likely would face in California and other states. We already saw they don't even have what's that called? Robotaxi permissions from the state. They have to kind of weasel around it using some loophole. Do your research on that. Adara, what's your take about raising about $500 million here for Joby?
I mean, raises are like never going to be good for the one-day stock reaction, right? Like as we kind of talked about. So the reaction makes sense. I think, again, I don't know. This is not like an avenue that I know a lot about with regards to EVTOL, and also, you know, just with regards to other ways that they could make money other than raising. Because the thing is, too, if you're a shareholder in this, maybe you're of two minds, right? Because you do. I know you are involved with this, as was just mentioned there. I think. You want them to be able to do things with the money, but also it's dilutive, right? So I think it's always going to kind of be a mixed take. That being said, with regards to Joby specifically, I think especially the preparation for commercial operations is solid, because that's how you generate more money and that's how you generate more value for your shareholders. So I think if they can get that off the ground, pun very intended, then I think it'll be a good look for Joby going forward. I don't have too much more on that.
Thank you, Adara. Go ahead, Joey.
What Adara said just reminded me of something, so I'm going to be backtracking a little bit. As for the warrants, Adara mentioned, so the GameStop warrants that we were talking about earlier, the warrants create dilution. Right? Opposed to options contracts, the liquidity is already there. So they're going to create those shares with those warrants.
But again, Joey, if they don't vest, if the condition precedent
isn't met,
then there is no dilution. But you're
but when you exercise them,
then there is.
Then you get the dilution.
And that's what in the video that I made about the AMD, what's it called? AMD OpenAI tie-up, right? I said, if OpenAI gets all the shares it's promised under the warrants, given the current float on AMD, it would be 10%. But there's no way to say that AMD doesn't issue more shares between now and when they fully vest. So at the current time, it could be 10%. At that time, it could be 7, 5, whatever.
So I mean, it's not most likely to happen. But what if AMD decides to split for some whatever reason?
Well, exactly.
Right. So I'm not saying that they will, but I don't think the price isn't expensive enough to do so.
Fair. I don't think they probably split up here. And the reasons for splitting for retail are getting less and less now that you can have fractional shares. I don't know. I don't go down that road again. All right, let's talk about Salesforce. Where are they at today? Because they had a bit of a data breach that we said basically very little about. So let's see what CRM is down. It's down barely 0.04%. So it's essentially flat on the day. So here's what happened. Salesforce has confirmed that a data breach linked a third-party app called Drift by Salesloft, which hackers exploited to steal customer data. The hacking group Shiny Hunters claims responsibility and says it has compiled a large cache of client data, not company data, later put up for sale on the cybercrime forums, aka the black web, I'm assuming, the dark web. Salesforce refused to pay the ransom, informing customers via email that it would not negotiate with the extortionists and had already taken measures, according to the company, to contain the threat. They didn't give any specifics. The company emphasized that the breach did not originate from Salesforce core system, but it was this, Salesloft third-party app, which did, but from the Drift app integration, which automates customer service communications. So here's the nature of the data that was compromised. I kind of prefaced this. I said it wasn't company data, it was customer data. According to Salesforce, Most of the stolen information includes basic contact data and IT configurations, though some records contained access tokens. I don't know what that is. The data was compiled into a single data set from the Drift app, which attackers began selling online last week, according to reports. Importantly, though, Joey, Salesforce clarified that there's no evidence its core platform was directly breached, reassuring customers that the integrity of its main cloud infrastructure remains intact. We'll have to wait and see.
It sounds like Ashley Madison all over again.
Oh,
remember that?
Of course I do. That was like the best hack ever. It's like, who's cheating?
Yeah,
right? Who's cheating?
That's crazy. No,
that's crazy.
But in all seriousness, I mean, I like Salesforce. It's unfortunate that they haven't been participating on this whole AI boom, considering like they're one of the first agentic models, I guess, out there. And you can just see that this name is just in a consistent downtrend, and the catalyst isn't going to help them whatsoever. So as for Salesforce, I'm going to give this one to Adara and say I think Mark Benioff should guide a little bit more aggressive because his numbers aren't horrible in my opinion.
All right, Adara, Joey's putting it to you, but what do you make of this entire thing?
Why guide aggressively if you can't back it up? It's way more impressive if you don't guide aggressively and then you give an awesome number. And that is also part of, to go back to Oracle for a bit, my issue with Oracle guiding so aggressively. I'm like, you don't need to do that, guys. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, to go back to Salesforce, I kind of think this is a nothing burger. The stock didn't really react. Like, for example, in a similar situation, our friend, the shiny one, Brian Armstrong and Coinbase, they had a whole bridge situation going back to May, and that stock got washed and dumped the day of. So that is exactly the opposite of what we're seeing here with CRM, which is relatively flat. So if the market doesn't care, I don't think, at least right now, it's anything to worry about. But as we get more details, that could change.
Yeah, I agree with that, Adair. That was exactly what I was going to say. If we start seeing customer data floating around online and that starts making its way to the mainstream media, we could see some price reactions. Right now, it looks like they've contained it. Good for them.
Yeah.
And I think they've been rewarded by the market, to build on your point.
But yeah, I think if they can't contain it, that's also like as you said, especially because they said they're not going to pay the ransom. If they can't contain it, if they can't back it up, I think that the sell on this is going to be Benny on.
Oh, no. Dropping
my days. But I mean, Adair, his numbers aren't horrible. Like, they're relatively good. So I think he can guide a little bit more aggressive than what he traditionally does.
But again, I don't like I think guiding aggressively, it's like if you're like super, like if you, for example, you guys are gym people.
I said more aggressively than what he does.
Yeah, like, well, like if you're all puffing it up and you're like, you know, strutting around like a peacock, like we've all seen these guys at the gym, and those guys who are strutting around at the gym like a peacock, they can't lift, they can't back it up, they can't do the lift rope. Then what's the point of like doing the pump like that, right?
That's
now,
crazy.
same with CRM. If you're gonna have like this massive, crazy guidance you can't back up, what is the point? So I think guiding a little bit more conservatively and then blowing it out of the water, that I find to be a lot more impressive.
Under promise and overperform.
Yeah, I get that.
Always.
But he's been doing, he himself has said, yeah, I've been doing this for how many years now? Is what I'm getting at. Underguide, overperform.
That doesn't mean he has to be like. That doesn't mean he has to be like all crazy about it. I mean, he can know what he can do, and he can still guide, I think, fairly for the market. I don't think those two things negate each other.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. See you later.
Jake Rizzo, are you calling Joseph and I fake gym bros?
Who said that?
He's calling us fake gym bros.
No, he's not.
I don't go to the gym enough, Katina Man, for him.
Who said it? Where is this guy?
And I'm taking a look at this guy right now, and yeah, let me tell you, he doesn't even look like he sees the gym. Shut the hell up. All right, so let's go into Confluent. Explores sales amid growing AI infrastructure demand. So Confluent apparently is reported exploring, I should say, a potential sale after receiving acquisition interest from both private equity firms and major tech companies, according to multiple sources. This is Obi's stock, by the way. He owns 100% shares of CFLT.
I've never even heard of
Confluence. Oh boy.
Oh,
the company's engaged in an investment bank to advise on the process, which is still in the early stages, according to reports that may not necessarily result in a deal. Confluent's market capitalization is about $7 billion, but the stock has fallen about 26% year to date, creating an attractive entry point for strategic buyers. So the article writes, not my opinion. I don't even know the company. The company's stock weakens weakness, began in July following news that it had lost a large enterprise customer, which heightened speculation of vulnerability to takeovers, Joey. So the company specializes in real-time data streaming technology. I'm just saying this for myself because I don't even know the company. It's critical for AI model training, enterprise analytics, and digital infrastructure. And they help organizations, manage continuous flow of data such as financial transactions, e-commerce clicks, and Internet of Things signals. So what do you think of this tie-up over here?
Yeah, let's take a look at this thing from a technical standpoint. Unfortunately, I don't know much about this company here. I can't even get the ticker up. I'm typing it in wrong. That's why CFLT, dyslexia, kick up. Okay, so I mean, here it is, right? Like, so you just go back into the history. I'm gonna make a prayer here. Okay, bang. So you have this IPO down here. Trades rips right off it back in 21. You are now currently trading down 77% off of that specific level. Now, if we get back into the daily, you are entering a gap, which I think is a big time importance here. You break through some key resistance, entering into the middle of it, but now you're starting to form an indecision print with some volume. Keep an eye out on a potential pullback, but as for the fundamentals of this company, I am not well versed.
All right, I gotta apologize to Jake Rizzo.
Why?
Because he was not talking about us.
Oh, is that what he said?
Talking about the peacocks at the gym. So you got my apologies, brother. I do apologize. Shouldn't have been coming at you.
Was he in the chat?
Well, yeah. I have to apologize though, Joey, because it was not warranted, my attack on him.
Yeah, so, quick to jump, brother. Quick to jump.
I'm quick to anger, quick to cool.
Yeah, just like,
people from my area of the world typically are like that. So
quick to
just
snap. Just like that. It's like boom, automatic yelling right there.
Straight to jail.
Right away. But no, yeah, Jake. We love you. I'm pretty sure we see you in the chat quite often.
Yeah.
So there
I had to apologize because apology was in order there. Dara, you threw Confluent on the watch list. I want to know what you think about this headline.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like any buyout rumor, we want more details. But lately, and a lot of these ones that we've had rumors they're going to be involved in some kind of acquisition, take private, whatever, they've been accurate. You know what I mean? Like we have had, of course, the day 4 situation lately, the situation with EA as of late. So there's a chance we'll probably get some kind of follow through on this. It's the main thing I have to say. I do think, Sharif, that it's a little funny that we get Confluent the day that we have Mr. Confluence trading on the show. I don't know if you're going to remember this, Sharif, but pretty early in my tenure, I would estimate fall of 2023, so within my first couple of months, you specifically put Confluent Technologies on the upgrades and downgrades.
Did I actually?
Just to be a little bit of the OB, which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah, so shout out to CFLT. And yeah, I mean, they, like a lot of these, I think, buyout rumors lately, when they haven't been confirmed, you gap up, you sell off at the open, you kind of chop. Yeah. I think, like, we talk a lot about how these buyout names are not necessarily going to be super tradable when you actually have confirmation of the buyout. But when it's just a rumor, try your hand. Right
Why
now,
not?
It's super choppy, so you might not want to, but just kind of more as a general rule of thumb. So I don't know. Yeah,
you break your strap, you're out. End of the story. Thank you for that, Adara. And that concludes the news session. All right. Joey, do you have anything? Because I'm going to go through some of these.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, man.
All right, guys. ABVE, look, it pulled back off that 595 high. It's got some higher lows, but more noticeable are the lower highs. It's still above the 10 EMA. A very, very interesting area, obviously, to reject. You work your way into that whole dollar, $6, of course, and then you reject. Now, look, I was not expecting that, given how it traded at 5. It didn't reject 5 at all. It just continued along its merry way and then actually started using 5 pretty quickly as a support level. So that's the first time on the day that it's actually touched the 20 EMA. This candle right here, having done about 2.1 million shares. So that's the second largest candle on the day that actually is red. So let's see how this one does. ABVE still about 59%. There's also this one, another one we were involved in, NPWR. Look at the direction and and the stability of NPWR. You're not seeing, much like the other one, you're not seeing a whole bunch of chop and churn, bamboozlement as we call it. And you're not seeing quadunking below the 10 EMA and the 20 EMA, VWAP for that matter. Very steady state, higher lows, higher highs, 37.87% NPWR. What else do we have over here, man? NTLA continued to give the goods. It just started consolidating here. I want to say around 1 o'clock. But prior to that, from 9:30 onward, it had been a buy program. As we mentioned, this one also had not breached a 10 EMA on the 5 until, of course, this candle here at 120. So it's in a bit of a consolidative state, up over 28.5%. So that's what I'm seeing right now. I saw some others as well, of course, that did work their way onto the side chart. RKDA, I kind of mentioned that one as we were doing the news. Let's go to the 5-minute RKDA. There it is, 525 high. Those are my two favorite numbers together, but it's right below $5 now. But most notably, when you look at the 5-minute candles, higher low, higher low, higher low. One more time for you guys. Higher low. You're not necessarily getting higher highs on every successive candle, but the buyers are stepping in at higher and higher prices on every pop. So this one's also up a little bit less than 50%, 47 and change right now. Let's see if it can clear 5 on a decisive basis. It's one of those anomalous situations where the volume weighted average price is a little bit higher than the 10 EMA given the speed at which this one ascended. So I just noticed I didn't throw the ticker up there. RKDA is the ticker, guys. This one could continue to run, it looks like, into the afternoon because it really wasn't doing a whole lot of volume before 120, 125. That's when I saw the largest volume candle show up. So this one's not really kind of, past its prime, so to speak. So those are the ones I've been keeping my eye on right now, guys. It's been a light bunch. I don't want to say it's a light bunch. There was some stuff to trade today. Yeah. Just not anything like we saw, with those crypto, adding crypto to the corporate treasuries. Those were fantastic.
Yeah, those are great moves there. There it goes. Speaking of crypto, man, we're starting to 2% on Bitcoin. So we're starting to recover a lot of those losses from yesterday. Ethereum's not even up too much either this morning.
Okay.
Adair, what do you got for us?
Guys, in just 2 minutes now, we're going to be getting the FOMC minutes for the September meeting. This is not the meeting itself. It just gives you a little bit of context on what happened at the meeting. Now, to give you guys a bit of a refresher, we did have a 25 basis point rate cut. Most of the Fed members voted for this rate cut. We had one dissenting vote, and that was, perhaps unsurprisingly, Fed's Myron, who opted for a 50 basis point cut, and he has since indicated in speeches that he's going to keep voting for 50 basis point cuts. So again, that's a little bit of context here ahead of that September 17th, 2025 meeting. If you're wondering how you can get this fun little calendar here, this is a new experiment I just tried today. If you guys like it, I'll keep doing this for Fed events. You can find this on X at TTV Research, and you can also see Neil Kashkari's head here. He's going to talk 2 more times today. Then we'll get Fed's bar after the close. Back to you.
He's a shiny one too, Adara.
Man, you guys. Yeah. I'm a little sensitive to this.
Oh God, here we go.
No, listen, I am, because I will be down. This guy gets so frustrated, but it's true. What's wrong with being a shiny?
I didn't say anything that was wrong. I'm pointing it out.
All right. Well, why you gotta point it out then?
Because he's waxing that bad boy, Joey. I know he's getting the wax. He's polishing that bad boy in the morning. He wants to blind people in the sun. I know it. That's his secret weapon, right? He's like, anybody talk smack, and just point my head down at him right
blind there. But in all seriousness, what?
He can't even talk anymore. All right, man.
What's going on?
All right.
Who?
What happened, Ram? Trenda? It tossed its ass into the garbage where it belongs, bro.
Oh, savagery.
I love that girl.
Crazy.
Bro, she's the sickest sport. She never takes anything with offense, but she dishes it too.
It's the Libra game.
Yeah. She dishes quite a bit too. So Ram, don't feel too bad for her in the chat. She gives as good as she gets. Trust me, bro.
All right.
Anyway, Joey.
Yeah, hold on now. We'll do it later.
What are you going to do?
I was going to do a quick trade review, but it's...
So do the trade review, because it's breaking out right now.
All right, 1 minute's gone now, but anyways.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Getting up. Oh, crap.
Where's she going? Oh, no. Was it in the garbage? Don't put it here.
Nah, I didn't actually throw it in the garbage. Joey, I don't want to get killed.
Okay.
She sees that in the garbage, my life's over.
Okay. I bit Screen Assassino real quick. It's 2 o'clock here. Okay, so we don't have any red names here on the day. We are short some Ethereum. Let's see if that works out. That's the only thing. Give me a second here, please, and thank you.
AMD's breaking 10%, man.
Down to the downside. And then also, it's FOMC minutes, so we got to get over. Nvidia was our best trade of the day. It's going to be this long over here, even though that short was nice. Nice look there on Nvidia, Adaro, FOMC minutes, then off to the big boys, Obi and Sean with the latter half of the show. Kill them with kindness.
We're going to keep getting highlights from these likely for the next couple of minutes, guys. Check out X and TTV Research. I will be posting updates as I see them, but The biggest thing that I have to say here, it might not be what people wanted to hear. The Fed apparently saying in these minutes that a few officials, quote, could have supported no rate cuts in September. So we got the 25 basis point cut, but according to these minutes, there were a couple officials that